Good morning and a very warm welcome from the beautiful Silvretta Montafon area. This is the second Freeride World Tour Challenger of the season. It's a World Tour Challenger by Orage, and we are stoked to be here today. And I'm very stoked to have a new commentator right next to me, Elisabet from France, former competitor on these events. Thanks for joining today.
Thanks, Flo. I'm really happy to be here, facing this beautiful venue out here in Austria. Yeah, what a show. I'm really happy to be sharing the seat here with you as an old freeride champion, Flo. I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait either. We have the most amazing spot. Our little husky truck sits right in front of the face. We don't even need binoculars today because you can see the riders right in front of us, maybe 200-300 meters away from us, the start gate and the finish line of the beautiful Zermatt-Spitze. You were here yesterday, Elise. Tell us something about this beautiful face that we're looking at right now.
Exactly. Well, at first, the riders and I were quite not sure about the conditions on this face, and we had a lot of doubts because skiing around was already kind of backed by the sun from the last few days, although it has been snowing last week. And finally, when the forerunners came down, then we could witness them land, and then we made sure that there was powder. So there is powder in the face. There's definitely like 20 centimeters. They're soft enough, and this on a harder little layer below this.
Yeah, that's a Zermatt-Spitze, a truly spectacular face that has proven over many years now that it is a great competition venue, and it is northeast facing, so it doesn't get a lot of sun. The pictures you see right now are taken in the morning, so you can see that the shadow's gonna fill up the face throughout the day, so the sun does not affect the snow, which means most of the face will have powder snow conditions, which the riders obviously really like.
I'm sure they are actually really excited since yesterday, and we have been waiting for the sun to shine because it was really cloudy this morning, and I think it's good. Now we're ready to start.
Yeah, we have the famous Föhn conditions here. It means we have a low pressure over Italy, and that means it's snowing at the main ridge of the Alps, and we have a very warm wind, so it's almost t-shirt temperature as well in here anyway, but also outside. So it was very flat light in the morning with a big cloud cover, but the clouds have moved away. Now the visibility is good enough to start. So anyone wondering why we had to postpone for half an hour, it was because of the bad visibility in the early morning.
Exactly, and we can see all of the riders. They're getting ready
at
the top of the face. They're at 2,300 meters. There's barely any wind, and yeah, they should be all right to be waiting and get ready to hammer it down.
Yeah, the Zermatt-Spitze is not the longest of competition venues. Maybe an interesting fact that last year when we had the Challenger here, the idea was to have 2 runs with a combined score. But after talking to the riders, the organizers have decided that everyone is more happy to do 1 single run. So we can be sure that the riders are going to put an amazing amount of action in those 330 vertical meters from the top of the Zermatt-Spitze to the finish line.
Absolutely. There's definitely advantages of having 2 runs, and you need to orientate your strategy when you've got only 1. The face is quite a small face, and we've got 60 riders today, so I feel like they're also kind of happy to only put 1 line down to not be competing on a fully tracked face.
Yeah, there's not going to be a lot of room for errors in this face, because if you do make a mistake, you hardly have the time and the size of venue to make up for it.
That's right. The top part where a lot of things are going to be happening is quite short, and then there's kind of a middle section which takes you really fast to the second section, and then it's done.
Yeah, so some of the top riders will probably flash this face in like 25 seconds, including backflip spins and some more action. So I'm really excited to have this super compressed action here today on the Zermatt-Spitze.
Is that your take? 25 seconds, Flo?
Well, yeah, I think so. You know, if you saw like a Christopher Charlet compete in kicking horse like 2 years ago, who did face twice the length, in about 30 seconds. So it is totally possible to go down that fast. And obviously the judges and we like it when the riders go fast, but we also want to see them have controlled runs. Well, we're going to talk about the judging criteria a little later.
That's right.
Detail on that.
Are you very inspired about the features in this face? Is that something that really brings your attention and your creativity?
Totally, because there's enormous density of features for the size of the face. And that's why I have no problem to see 60 plus riders on the mountain today, because even though it's not long, it's wide and there's a lot of options. I remember seeing Paul Danton find a totally new line last year.
Really?
He went like a couple of 100 meters off to the Lucas right side and opened up a whole new zone that was never even thought to be part of the competition venue, so to say, but it was in bounds and he did an amazing run.
All right.
And they kind of opened the riders' eyes, and I think this year we might see more action on the far left or the far right, because people are realizing now that the venue is really wide and you can use all of the mountain.
Indeed, and this is what the judges and the public want to see. It is much more fun when you can see riders making full potential of the face instead of kind of staying in the same area.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, here we'll have a look at the finish area, which typically throughout the day fills with a good audience, once we are right in the middle of the ski area of the beautiful Silvretta Montafon. So if you're somewhere around here, take the Grasiovbahn up, and from the Grasiovbahn you connect directly with the second gondola, and as you're going up with the second one, you already see the venue, you see the start gate, the finish area, and the riders who are preparing at the top. So very spectacular, and we already see quite a few people congregating down there, making themselves nice areas to chill and watch the competition.
Yeah, that looks like a super rad time. And Flo, you were telling me this place, so Silvretta Montafon, is located quite close to Innsbruck, and so you guys get a lot of people coming from the city for the weekends, usually easy accessible.
Yeah, we'll chat about this in a minute, but before, let's have a quick look at the start list. Ski Men are gonna kick it off today with a couple of well-known names. Maybe a standout here, bib number 3, a reigning freeride junior world champion, who got a wildcard for this event. A super international field. Did you count how many nationalities we'll have on the mountain today?
Indeed, and there is 16 different countries represented today.
That is amazing. So anyone saying freeriding is only happening in Austria, Switzerland, France, and Scandinavia, that's not true. And that's not even counting the Americans and Canadians and South Americans.
Absolutely, that's only the first region. This is the snowboarders men list that we're coming through right now.
Also here, a freeride junior world champion, Kea Chretien, in the starters field. So super interesting. We have riders between 18 and about 30. What's the oldest one today on the mountain?
36, I think.
36, yeah. So that's pretty cool. Be. Twice the age of our reigning freeride junior world champion.
And the ski women that quickly went by.
Exactly.
The list will be displayed at the beginning of each section. So don't worry, you'll get time to know what bib numbers are your favorite riders coming in.
And to top it off, the snowboard women here with a former Freeride World Tour rider, Tiffany Perrotin, Freeride former world champion, right?
Absolutely.
She's trying to re-qualify for the tour, so a field stacked with big names and young guns for great action.
Definitely. Tiffany came in really motivated for the challengers, and I believe there's definitely some show to be had today with this panel of riders. There we go. So this is the drone footage, full speed coming down the venue. So that gives you a really good idea of how fast this face is going to be. It's definitely something to be inspecting a face from the bottom of the venue. So yesterday, all of the riders had their binoculars on and we're watching the venue from the bottom. The tracks that you can see in the venue are not from the riders. There's been a few people coming down. There's been the staff preparing the face. The judges have tested the snow as well, because they will need to know the quality of the snow in order to help them judge throughout the day. And so, think that the riders just stayed at the bottom and they only have an idea of what's going on in the space. They have an idea of the slope. There's places where it gets really steep. There's places where you've got little flat zones, and you need to anticipate all of this. That's really part of the game, and this is kind of why the experienced riders will usually do a better job, because they're able to really prepare for it.
Yeah, there's mountains on the Freeride World Tour events which are have more of a concave, so you see most features from the top, more like a bowling structure. Zamankspitze is one of those who are more convex, so you have those rollovers, and it's really crucial that you have your bearings exactly right for the takeoffs to land where you want and have your angle already set up for the next jump, because features are really close together as well.
That's right. And here where we can see the riders at the top of the face, well, think that they cannot see the bottom because there's a big roller at the top. And so basically they're standing at the top of the face, not knowing where they're going if they had not studied the face for hours the day before.
Exactly, yeah, but this is something very special, and it's true Freeride spirit when the evening before the event people get together. You know, they're all traveling as friends in groups, so they share apartments, they share camper vans, they share hotel rooms, and then you sit until midnight and look at the pictures that you made or that the organizer send you as drone footage and trying to get all these little details that then make the difference during your run.
Indeed, yes, it is it's really a family thing. Because all the riders need to get ready. They do talk about their lines a lot, and that really helps them figure out what's best, what's not. They do a lot of brainstorming together.
Yeah, and that is true Freeride spirit in the evening before the event to sit together, as they all travel together in bunches, sit together in a hotel room, in an apartment, or in a camper van, and look at all those pictures and the drone features to get their angles right. Because once you start your run, you know, there's no time to for second guessing. Like, you have to know your run by heart, top to bottom, to then have capacities free to throw in tricks and go as fast as you can.
Absolutely, this is the way. Did you like preparing your runs and chatting with friends when you were competing?
Yeah, they actually called me the line professor because I was one preparing my lines very well, and I remember hanging out with Xavier De Le Rue a lot, and we were so different because he said, Flo, I don't know what you're doing all the time. I choose 3 takeoffs, you know. I mean, he always jumped like the biggest cliffs of the venue, but it's all he needed, you know, find his takeoffs and the speed he needed to know and the angle. And I would, on the other hand, prepare my run top to bottom, like every single turn. So I could have done my runs with closed eyes. And
interesting.
Total opposite, and then we both put up a good show, but with a very different approach.
Wow, very interesting. All right. Well, I guess, yeah, the line professor, is that the reason you started coaching in Innsbruck now?
Yeah, I really, you know, still love to be part of the Freeride community. And in the Freeride Academy Innsbruck, we have over 90 kids which we coach now, and some of them are really motivated. And actually, they had a junior competition on this very mountain about a month ago, and 2 of the kids finished on the podium. So I'm really happy that, you know, I can pass on, I'm allowed to pass on part of the knowledge I accumulated over 25 years as a competitive freerider to the next generation.
All right.
Let's have a look what we have on our screen, except for our little truck. That's us right here in the little Husky.
Yeah.
We see our judges who sit right next to us. Judging panel today. In the back, we see Benjamin Kamel, head of part of the sports development department of the Freeride World Tour, who came here to make sure everything works perfectly. On the right hand side, we have Dodo Konrad from Innsbruck, Austria. He's actually the video judge. So if there's any landing that a rider disappears in a cloud, he rewinds very quickly the video, rewatches it, and tells the judges, well, there was maybe half a crash or a bad landing, or it was just a big cloud of snow. And then we have the other 3 judges who are going to judge all categories.
Exactly. So there's 3 judges. Yeah, there's Siobhan Chalis.
Flo Gassner.
Yes.
And who's our 3rd judge?
And Ludwig Bianca.
And this is the hot couch. It's not a hot seat this year, it's a hot couch. So whoever puts in the highest score, well, the bib number 1 will for sure, but whoever tops that score then will be allowed to sit on the couch until he's maybe or maybe not pushed away by a rider with an even better score.
Sounds pretty good. Fancy open faces.
Yeah,
I like the way Austrians prepare and get ready for the winners.
You at home can get ready as well. We have a live scoring today, so if you go to liveheats.com, that's liveheats.com, and you choose Freeride World Tour as an organization, Freeride World Tour Europe Oceania actually, and then you just scroll down to the events in February and you find the Freeride World Tour Challenger by Orage Montafon, and there the results are published in real time. We'll have them displayed every once in a while on the screen as well, but if you really want to watch the score, see the scores all the time, then just go to liveheats.com, look for this event. We have to do the same here, so the rankings always in front of your eyes with all the action.
All right, I think we are getting ready. The first rider should be really getting towards the start gate, and it is going to be Simeon Pavlov. He is coming from Bulgaria. I've seen him on comps for a long time now. He's been competing for 6 years, and he he dropped in La Rosière, so on the first Challenger by Orage a month ago, and ended up placed 21st. So he definitely did not put his best run out there, and yeah, he looked really, really motivated yesterday. So I feel like he's got some good show planned for us today. It's definitely something to be starting to be number one on the face, because you have no comparison to the other riders. The judges do not either, and yeah, luckily you do have less tracks, so you're going to be able to have cleaner landings, and this is really good. But you really gotta be ready for it.
Exactly. So I'm listening in to the race competition radio right now. Judges are ready, TV is ready, and we'll have a countdown for
So your mic was off, so what did you say? You were just on the radio?
Thank you. Just listening in to the competition radio, and judges are ready, TV is ready, so we're really going to have our first rider dropping in a couple of seconds.
All right, Simeon Pavlov.
Number 1, first off ski men, going riders left, dropping in 5, 3, 2, 1, drop in!
Freeride World Tour Challenger by Orage Silvretta Montafon 2025 has started. Simeon Pavlov has gone through a start gate and is pushing over some huge exposure to his first big entry air.
He is kicking it off with, yes, a beautiful air to start with, transferring it, letting some slough come down on the side. This is a proper movie line. What a good drop.
Exactly, and he's going all the way to Lucas right. This is actually where we did see Paul Danton last year. Wow, with a big 360, a bit wobble in the air, but managed to put a clean landing down. And now he comes around. I'm sure he's ready for some more action before he's down at the bottom of the venue.
Yes, he is, and he's aiming for that little lump of rocks at the bottom with a last air. The landing looks really nice, and he is flying down, heading towards the finish line out there.
Solid first run by Simeon Pavlov with a very creative line, really scratching at the boundaries of the face, and it seems like he is arriving at the finish line with one pole only.
Yeah, it looks like it. So maybe that's what we've seen in his second landing. There was some weird movement happening. So maybe one of the poles stayed out there. We can see some little black mark in the snow.
That is really interesting. I mean, we do have a low tide season here in the Alps. I mean, the snowpack is solid, but it's not like huge. And if you look at his tracks now, we can tell that it definitely touched one or two stones in his landings. So it'll be interesting how the snow cover will develop with the large amount of riders we have on the face today.
That's right. Hopefully there's not too many sharks that are going to show up. On the last landing, though, we could see like he really got into the snow, so it looked really soft and nice.
He's a happy camper, just raising his arm in the finish area.
Yay!
So, and the good thing is he'll definitely get to sit on the hot seat. That's the bonus for bib number 1.
Definitely. He'll try out the couch before before time comes. Absolutely. It was really interesting seeing the first rider aiming to the extreme rider's right. That's definitely a playful terrain. He started as like big free riding line style, and then he went out to play. So that probably tells a lot about his style of riding.
Yeah, and I mean, with the size of the face we have at the Mangspitze, typically you have room for 3 hits, and that's what he had. He had the big entry air, he had the huge 360, and then the nice bottom air all the way to the Lucas right. So I think he did really well. 64 points is our first standard of the day for Simeon Pavlov.
All right. Well, that was a little head shake. That wasn't too promising.
Well, the judges probably would have wanted to go a little faster towards his airs, and they want the airs clean, and they know there's another, around 25 ski men coming, and some of them gonna put out standout runs. So they gotta leave room for the standout runs towards the maximum of 300 points.
Absolutely, this is quite strategic from them. They want to leave room on both sides for people that are going to make more mistakes, for people that are going to make bigger lines. And this is Victor Hailwoods getting ready. Victor ended up at place 11th in La Rosière. So he's probably here for something as well. He is 22 years old and trains out in Verbier. Yes, sending beautifully the first cliff, definitely landing into a bum hole, but holding on.
Full speed onto the second air. Wow, no time for hesitation and going for a huge backflip. One of the biggest features of the venue. Struggling a little bit of the landing, but riding it out. What an exceptional run by Victor Hailwoods. Holy moly!
Victor, incredible hit. He took it from the very top, just backflipping it, no doubt. Although he knew there was a traverse underneath and he would have to hold on. His arms went a little bit back, but you know what? He totally got it.
That's why we laughed to Mangspitze. Did I tell you about the 30 seconds run? I'm not sure it took him even 20 seconds to come down. Look at this big air at the top. And this backflip was insane. Let's check out this landing. Well, that's something that Dodo Conrad is going to look at in his replay. It was definitely a stage 2 landing, which gives some deductions. Hopefully not a stage 3, because that would mean a minor deduction in points. The safety of the riders always goes first, right? And that's why the riders have to land on their skis. And if they push back at the landing, which sometimes happens when the skiers do really big jumps, they back touches the snow, and this can be really dangerous if there's any rocks back there. So then there's a major punishment in points. And that's why we have to video judge to replay these landings and make sure that the score is right.
Exactly. It is quite natural for riders when they take such big hits, like this is absolutely massive. That would be 15 meters drop back flipping. So when you land, it's quite natural for your body to try to go horizontal in order to bounce again on the snow and put yourself back on skis. But as you say, this is heavily penalized by the judges.
And it has to be, because at this level of riding, the judging has to make a difference between those incredible runs. And that is just one way to make a difference.
Absolutely. That was really, really an incredible proof of engagement from Victor, because he was coming in full speed from the top, and then the way he hit the double, we can see he did a really good speed check in the middle after the first rock of his double. There's, you know what, when I look at his track now, I can see some rocks that have appeared. And that makes me kind of worried for all of the riders that would like to come out there.
Yeah, and you could see how Victor was checking the base of his skis, so he definitely did touch some rocks.
Well, he did.
Well, but he stood up to his riding style. Whenever he's in the start gate, you got to hold your breath, because he is known for throwing the biggest airs, and that's what he did today.
Yeah.
Amazing show, Victor.
Definitely.
Really cool.
Definitely. I feel like riders, they definitely take into account their bib number, and the bib number is not chosen. It just it's just sort out by luck, really. And so yesterday, riders were definitely having conversations about lines that they would do if they had such bib number or if they had such bib number, because your line choice may be different if you consider the bum holes in the landings and the potential tracks on your lines.
We're still waiting for a score, just as much as Victor's dad, Nicholas Hailwoods, well known by most freeriders on the world as the founder and still CEO of the Freeride World Tour. Freeride World Tour actually being in Georgia right now, while they have an event one of those days. And the judges are definitely reviewing this 80 points for Victor. So I would judge that was like a 10-point deduction they gave him for the landings, because you can't do much more. Like, the run was outstanding, right?
I agree. They were really the three biggest hits. And the reason it was
not above the 90 was that there were some deductions for the landing. But I think still a very solid score for Victor.
Yeah, definitely. There is some room up top for maybe a potential cleaner landing, but there was really some three very big hits.
We go back after the start to see a very interesting man, or you have to say a very interesting boy, because this is your ruling and reigning 2025 Freeride Junior World Champion, who did with the last bib number, one of the most outstanding run on the famous Quellspitze in a couple of weeks ago. Look at how he's
18 years old!
And he did spread his legs in order not to land in the landing of Victor Hailwoods. That was very amazing. Wow.
360!
Sniper landing onto the next cliff.
Noah Pereira hammering it down the face, 360ing into the gnarliest zone where there's like, there's rocks underneath, and then this is definitely a no-fall zone because you're above exposure and heading towards one of the biggest cliff at the bottom, airing it, and man,
Wow.
full speed.
A very similar line to Nicholas Halebutz with the same ambition and speed, just choosing to go for a 360 in the middle rather than for the backflip at the bottom. But he had some troubles which we were gonna see in the land. Look at this, that was amazing. He spread his legs in order to have soft
He
snow.
could see
Look at it, he
the
saw
landing.
That's
incredible.
unreal. You don't see that very often. And this was a sniper landing right next to the rock, and then maybe he was a little faster than he expected because he almost overshoots the landing of the last one, and this is a full backflip. So unfortunately there will be a major deduction points for Noah Pereira, which he knows already because he had his back and his backpack fully touching the snow and rebounced. So that's what we call a stage 3 landing. Stage 3
Indeed.
backflip, sorry.
Wow, well, he's going to be pretty stoked to have put down this run because, doing the 360 where he did it was really engaged.
I wish we had a timer as those boys are riding.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unreal. They flashed his face in a couple of seconds. You can tell how well they know their runs. Like every single turn, every jump is exactly where it's supposed to be. But once more, you see the black marks now in those landings. So, yeah, definitely not a disadvantage today to have one of those lower pips.
74 points, 67 points for Noah Pereira. The French little guy, and well, all right, I guess that indeed he got penalized for that backslap at the bottom.
But still an amazing performance for an 18-year-old on his first ever challenger, playing with the big boys. Very
Exactly,
impressive.
18 years old on top of things. This is Gabriel Bletton, the French. He is an old Freeride World Tour rider, and but you know what? You never get old. He's totally in for today. You know what's really special today, Flo? He's competing snowboarding and skiing. This is the first ski run.
And this despite his being one of the oldest. Noah Pereira, which just stopped with 18 years. Gabriel Bletton with 38 years. How beautiful is that in the sport of freeriding? Where else do 38 years old ones compete with 18-year-olds? Beautiful, flawless 3 right into the middle of the face.
Yes, what a good flow. Double at the top, 360 back. Flipping!
Oh, backflip into front flip. That was not intentional.
Unfortunately.
But keeping it together in a way that his skis are still on his feet.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, Gabriel, that was such a good line at there that you had planned. 360 and then backflip. There was definitely a little rebound that made you do that like little front flip afterwards. Luckily, you kept your skis, and well, that was impressive. I can't believe Gabriel landed in the middle, like in the 150 centimeters in the middle of rocks.
Beautiful double up there. And then let's watch the replay. I believe he landed on snow on his lower jump, and then I think the nose of his right ski caught a rock, and that's what sent him into the tumble. Beautiful double up there.
Yeah, very well
controlled.
executed.
Yeah. Here comes the 3 in the middle. Also that perfectly. And then is the last jump, but things went wild. It was still all fine as he landed first. The backflip. If you look at his track now, you can see a black spot where his right ski was, and I think he just
It looks, one of his skis got
the base
stuck.
got cut on the rock, and that's what sent him into this tumble. He landed. Yeah, he did land a bit in the forward
He
position.
front
Yeah,
punched.
he front punched, yeah.
The snow can be variable even on the same face, and so if you're in one position at the very top, it doesn't mean that this is going to be all right for all of the face,
But
unfortunately.
Yeah, and sometimes it may sound funny, but it is easier to do a backflip over a big cliff because you have all the time to steer the speed of your rotation. Yeah.
Yeah, and check out your landing.
That was a rather small cliff for a backflip, but it did not quite finish the rotation to a point where he could land centered on his skis.
Exactly.
And you have to, as we're watching out the window, we see easily 100-200 people already standing around the finish area watching. Not surprised if this is going to be a big crowd today, because with the action at Zermannspitze, it's incredible to watch. You're so close to the riders. I mean, the last airs are not even 100 meters away from the slopes. You're right there, and you can touch and feel the action that's happening on the mountain.
That's right. This is Benoît Lamour, the French rider. He was fired up in the start gate. Yes. Oh, no. he did jump further than anybody today on the stop cliff. And unfortunately, took a little tumble when his ski got caught. There he is really, really bummed. He had such a good run in mind. And he was really, really stoked. Yeah, even this morning. So unfortunately, one of his skis did stay in the face, caught by the snow.
He was really grumpy. Let's check what happened there. Yeah, he kind of lands, I think, in the track of Victor Hailwood and Noah Pesera.
Exactly.
And it was probably a little harder than he expected and had his weight a little bit towards the nose of his skis, and it sent him into front punch right away.
So he took the takeoff in another direction, and because of the tracks existing in the landing, he landed a little bit crossways, which just destabilized him, unfortunately. And
it looks like, checking through my binoculars right now, he landed right on one of the rocks that Victor unburied, so to say, on the landing. With the bib number 2, and I think that's probably why Benoit was also so angry, because it was not really his mistake. I mean, landing a jump like this onto a rock, there's nothing you can do.
No, fair enough. But it was definitely a very, very strong rider. He usually stumps a lot of his cliffs. He loves to jump big. And it's pretty sad because, when you're at the very, very top of the venue and you still got so much to show us, and fortunately you've traveled for 10 hours and you're not able to do the show that you wanted. But this is part of the game. And
it's tough because there's 5 challenger events, and the top 3 results, decide who's going to go to the Freeride World Tour next year. And he came here with a 19th place from the last event, so this was going to be a similar result. So the pressure for him is fully on for the following challenges in Nonda, Monte Rosa, Kaprun, and finally Obertauern to collect the points he potentially needs to qualify for the tour.
That's right. There's no more choice. Gotta perform very, very well on the next stops.
Next rider gate, another Frenchman, Gabin Bouzanne. I hope I pronounced that the right way.
Gabin Bouzanne. C'est très bien.
Alors, bienvenue tous les amis de Freeride de France. Well, I leave the French to you, the French floor to you today.
No, I think you do the French. This is great.
Yeah.
French riding style. Let's go. Gabin Bouzanne, 18 years old as well. Aiming for the double. Beautiful. Yes, perfectly stumped. And heading to the second zone.
Wow, that's a solemnly jump cliff. Nice.
Wow.
Onto the ramp. And now slowing down, checking his speed to go for the last big feature. Right when Noah Pesera took off. Going for the backflip. Wow, that was a beautiful stomp. Super clean line. That's a real threat now. 80 points off Victor Hailwood with a very clean run top to bottom by Gabin Bouzanne.
Absolutely. So I can't believe how fast Gabin was turning and speed checking. He knew exactly what to do with his skis to maintain the perfect speed and get, because he was on the side.
That's the amazing part of having such a small venue where riders can do their face inspection really close. I mean, they ride it in perfection. Look at this, not a finger out of place at this double.
In the middle of the rocks.
Onto the ramp, right into the turn. Now he's already looking at, maybe see the replay from a different angle. Beautiful drone shot. And that's last was so difficult to do the backflip there, but stomping it perfectly. Look at that stomp.
Yeah, he's planting his ball when he stops. Bam! Beautiful, and he's riding out really fast out of this backflip.
And I think that was smart. I mean, Victor Hailwood's jump at the bottom was easily twice as big, but obviously twice as hard to land. 71 for Gabin Bouzanne. Seems a little surprised, just like me. Yeah, probably the amplitude at the lower part was not what the judges were expecting. That's the only way I can explain.
No massive mistake.
Yeah.
The run was also maybe a bit less flowy because he had to get to the spot that he wanted, and that took him a lot of effort. This is definitely a style judging. Talking about style, Alex Hackle coming from the United States. Mr. Style indeed. And out here, he was just at Queens and Kings of Corbet's last week. in Jackson Hole, and he's in Silvretta Montafon today.
And he's in an interesting position because he did not compete at the first Freeride World Tour Challenger in La Rosière, so he doesn't have a result yet. That leaves him 5 events to compete.
Very nice double at the top for Alex, yes, and 360ing out of this bottom cliff, bringing in his freestyle background. Massive 360 on the other side at the bottom at there. Nice job, Alex.
Yeah, I talked to video judge Dodo Conrad yesterday why we see so little action, freestyle action over these rollers at the bottom. And Dodo said it's because it's so hard. They were so blind and there's not really defined takeoff. But Alex showed how it's done. Come in with speed and just fly for a very long time.
Absolutely. Like landing more than 10 meters afterwards. Let's see the first double that nobody has taken today. They're the first rider to go this side.
Look at this drone angle. That's how the riders see it. Wow.
Yeah, very engaged, committed
so
riding.
creative, the angle of the 360. Like, he doesn't really go over the cliff. He kind of goes sideways. Look at it. I wouldn't even have seen that as an option.
Yeah.
And then he comes
So
in fast
turning
to the bottom,
right
flies.
and turning left massively.
Yeah, the judges loved it, variety, obviously.
So this hit at the bottom, we were talking about it with the riders yesterday. There's only one way you can do it. This is how.
Exactly.
You can't just do a mini jump. The judges are not going to like it. It needs to be massive. And yeah, very well performed.
Yeah, 6-7, solid score for Alex Huckel, put him in 4th place right now.
All right, well done.
So, with 7 riders down, we still have Victor Halewoods in the lead with an 80 points run. Once more, if you want to follow the competition score, you go to liveheats.com. Liveheats.com, enter Freeride World Tour as an organization, Freeride World Tour Oceania actually, and look for the Freeride World Tour Challenger by Raj in Montafon, and you'll have live scoring on your screen.
Let's go. This is bib number 8, Lucas Schlickenrieder, aiming for the first double. Yes, beautiful.
So nice and clean.
Taking it slightly to the right of the tracks. There's a bit more space out there to land. 360.
Wow, that was big, not taking away speed at the takeoff. Backflip. I hope he's going to clear that rock by a millimeter, but not the second
And he
jump.
did by a millimeter indeed. Unfortunately, that was not enough time and orientation to get out of this cliff at the bottom, and he landed right straight onto the flat.
He's checking his body, but he seems fine, gives us 2 thumbs up. That was a crazy situation. I was really worried there for a second because he almost
Lucas.
landed on the rock after a big backflip. And then I'm not sure if he wanted to change his direction to the skier's left or if he had to avoid the rock, but it sent him tumbling over the next rock, which was not a stompable cliff because it's flat right after.
Absolutely.
Let's watch
There's
the
a
replay. That'll be really
massive
interesting
straight
to
bit.
see that one more time.
Beautiful double.
Oh, beautiful run. The top part was outstanding. Look how big that 3 is. Just keeps flying all the way almost to the flats, but managed to put it together one more time. And then he goes for the big backflip. And he must have seen the rocks up as he was upside down in the air.
Oh.
Looked like Herman Maya at the Nagano Olympics about 20 years back, trying to do a turn midway in the air. Not quite making it. Woo.
Unfortunately, 32 points for Lucas.
But that's a big promise to me. I'm stoked to have another German rider who's so strong. We haven't seen too many German riders pushing into the top crew of the Freeride Challengers last years. So Lucas definitely one to look out for on the next Challengers.
Yeah. Next on top in the start gate, the Swiss rider Xavier Scherwey. He is 20 years old.
20 years
And
old from
he
Port de
rides-
Soleil.
exactly.
Riding at your home resort.
Yay, he does ride in Verbier. Aiming for the bigger guy at the top. Yes, landing perfectly. Straight in line.
Oh, this is a crazy run by Lucas Scherwey. Wow.
Wow. Well, Xavier, it looks like you wanted to go straight top to bottom. Hopefully you're going to wave your arms soon to let us know that you're okay.
Look how Scherwey, after a clean entry, it seemed like he didn't want to slow down or he couldn't. It
Exactly. He was, sent very, very straight, unfortunately.
And then lost control, the landing off his second cliff, sending him into a tumble over the third one. Luckily, it didn't look like it was hitting the rocks very hard because he kind of tumbled over the rock and into deeper snow. But definitely a heavy fall by Lucas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Xavier might need some help
so
out there. All of his gear is at the top. He might need a little check. We definitely do have all the help necessary.
Yeah.
Who's going to start to...
Well, we see him moving, but he did not yet wave his arms, which would have said that
so
he's totally
that's the
fine.
first cliff that he did. Perfectly stumped it. And then this cliff, he landed...
Looked like to me like he was a bit in the backseat after the first landing and thus not able to slow down as much as he wanted to. I think the angle is what he wanted to do, but not with the speed.
Yeah. Or did he lose? Yeah, exactly. A little backseat in between the double. It would have been such an incredible line if Xavier would have stumped it. So fast.
Yeah, we have a ski dude coming in from the Lucas ride. Obviously, head of competition health safety, Markus Kogler, who has 25 years of experience of being the master of safety on competitions in Austria. Has a safety crew in the mountain. We have mountain guides, we have doctors, we have paramedics. And one of the skiers is approaching right now.
So in order to explain a little bit how the safety works on the Freeride World Tour, we've got a little clip for you right now.
Since the beginning of the Freeride World Tour, we haven't seen much difference in terms of safety. Always been working with mountain guides to avoid any sort of avalanche dangers and sorts of stuff. But where it really improves, it was with the materials, from back protection, beacon, shovel, probe, and every rider has to wear an avalanche airbag backpack. And we also provide those RECO device, which will help the riders in case of an avalanche being found like a lot quicker than without. We also provide all the riders with a mandatory safety workshop. Everyone involved into the Freeride World Tour is doing the clinic. It's really important that all the crew and the riders could be involved into the research.
It's not only safety for the riders, it's also safety for the staff to make sure when they set up everything that staff are well equipped. So we decide for which zones it's mandatory to have a beacon, shovel, probe, and then following that I make sure the staff that is in the zone where we need a beacon, that they do have one.
As a team, we plan where it would be best to position our safety staff throughout the venue. So we have ski patrollers at the top of the venue, we have ski patrollers at the bottom of the venue, and we also have some placed throughout the venue where they're able to respond quickly in the event of an accident.
So we are stoked to hear that, on the competition radio that there is no doctor needed. Xavier was definitely a bit, well, he will be bruised from this spectacular crash, but he will be able to ski down himself, and that's what we wanted to hear after this crazy heart-stopping moment there.
Absolutely, the ski dude is helping him recover all of his gear right now, and hopefully Xavier will be making his way to the finish line soon.
Well, you live in Verbier. Tell us something about this freeride mecca, maybe the freeride capital of Europe, if not the world. I don't think there's any other resort in the world with such an enormous intensity or density of good riders. I mean, many world champions have come from that region. What's a freeride day in Verbier like after a fresh snowfall?
Man, well, a freeride day in Verbier on the powder day is pretty wild. The level out there is absolutely unbelievable.
I remember going up the Atlas gondola once at like 9:30, and so that means half an hour of the opening, and it goes right over this amazing terrain, and you charge just the biggest cliff jumps everywhere. So it's like you cannot follow a track in Verbier because it might just lead you to a 25-meter cliff, which some people do as a warm-up on their first run in the morning.
Exactly, Flo. Rule number 1, do not follow a track in Verbier.
And it's not even because they're all speed flyers who might have a wing and then go over a big cliff. It's just they jump all those cliffs.
They do.
Oh,
they totally do. The terrain out there is so accessible that you don't even have to walk. You just ski the beautiful things. There's definitely risks to mitigate. So you wanna consider the resort as the backcountry, and you really got to think about it and take good decisions. There's a lot of people as well, so it's not like a peaceful day. if you're gonna be in for being a focused and demanding day.
And there have been various accidents over the years, obviously, with so many thousands of people out in the backcountry and every day.
Yeah, definitely. We've got Fynn Powell, who was actually competing at the Verbier area last month, I believe, at the Nanda BC. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, we've got a lot of comps going on out there. This is why a lot of riders end up out there. And Fynn Powell is dropping. The Kiwi is on course, heading towards that rider's right. Yes, dropping from the top. Some nice shifty, really, really good style out there on that top cliff. And he is aiming to the middle part, taking a really nice hit into the couloir.
It's pretty much the line that Xavier took, just with the right speed. Wow, new angle at the takeoff.
Fynn Powell clearing, just landing both feet on each side of this rock. There is one rock in the landing.
I'm speechless. He came flying in from a 20-meter backflip and sees that he was going to land on a rock, spreads his legs, avoids the rock, but unfortunately breaks through the snow to another rock, which then sends him into a tumble.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Man, I cannot believe how clear his eyes and his brain worked on this action, because he's really literally just saved his own life.
I can't wait to talk to him after the competition, what it's like to be upside down about 10-50 meters in the air and then knowing your skis are aiming exactly for a big rock which you cannot land on.
Yeah, this is very unlucky. He definitely knew that this rock was out there, and I know that he planned to like take a slight orientation that would bring him another way, but at the same time, the way he was coming in, he was definitely going to get close. And man, I'm so happy he cleared it.
It was definitely a mistake that he did not angle his takeoff at that rock in a way that he was avoiding that rock in the landing. We'll see it right now. So he approaches the takeoff, which is obviously very blind, and then as he's in the air, he realizes there's the rock, I have to spread my legs. He actually almost rides it out.
He almost rides it out. I wonder, you know what? Why does he lose his key?
Yeah,
That's really hard to say.
It seemed like he was safe. It's like, why? I gotta spread my legs, ride it out, and then.
No, it looks like his skis are actually coming off on the track that he goes against later. It might not be the rock. Wow. Yeah, I can't wait to.
You know what it was?
To know what happened to Phil.
It is the traverse track that riders have been talking about a fair bit. Since there was a plan to ride on a different venue here, and it was only decided a couple of days ago that we come here. It was not closed off in the way that freeride competition venue is typically closed off. And right after the landing of these big cliffs is where a lot of people have traversed in the last 2 or 3 days before it was closed. And if you look at his track now, you see he lands clean, but then he hits the traverse track, and that probably took off his key.
That's
and
right.
The riders have been talking about this traverse track quite a bit because it's right after landing, so this is like a very vulnerable moment for the riders. Like you land, you put your skis down, and as your weight comes back up, you kind of rebound from the snow, and if you hit anything there, a rock, an old track, a hump, this is where you get thrown off balance, or your ski can come off, and that's exactly what happened to him. So very unlucky for him.
Absolutely. I cannot believe the level today on the challengers, really, because having the power of deciding and modifying your action while you're in the air doing a backflip. How many backflips have you had to do to get so good?
A lot. A whole lot.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the young crew, as they started really early and they're now kind of brought up with clubs, things that didn't exist in the past when we started, that really gives them a lot of tools, a lot of days to put their heads down, and experience definitely pays off.
Yeah, and today is a day, I mean, this is not even, so to say, the Freeride World Tour, this is Challenger, this is, you know, where the boys and girls are trying to qualify, but the level is like outstanding, it's incredible.
Absolutely. This is Moritz Hlous, the wild card from Germany, dropping in. Aiming towards the double. Let's go, Moritz.
Yeah, following the top tracks of Gabriel Bletton.
Yes, and stumping it. Coming out, checking out speed. Yes. Nice drop to get back into the full line.
Similar to Alex Hackelschwan here at the bottom. Flying into the throat of the face here at the bottom.
Very nice. Yeah, very clean run from Moritz. He's going to be stoked about this.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many clean runs yet, really. I mean, obviously, the riders are going to their limit.
Exactly. That was really playful. I think he's got one more hit than most of the riders.
That is true, yeah.
So here is the double.
It was a bit more conservative, I would say, than some of the other riders have shown, so not putting it all at stake. But I think as a wild card, being invited to such an event, I think it's exactly what you should do. Put a solid one down and, write your own recommendation letter for future events.
Definitely, yeah. Trying to make some points as well, since he was invited to this venue. And this is 60 points for Moritz.
Yeah, Moritz is happy.
Yay! Absolutely. So you get more points when you're on the challengers than on the qualifiers. So basically, you can kind of consider a little strategy here when you're planning your line, and then you get even more points when you're on the World Tour. So riders that are coming from the World Tour, dropping onto the challengers, do have different points. There you go. So we've got Norway. They're getting ready in the start gate. Bib number 12, Douglas Nordqvist.
And it starts to pay off that Norway is putting a lot of effort in junior competitions. I think this year alone they have three-star comps up in Norway. So really building up.
Sorry, Douglas is from Sweden. Sorry, Douglas. You are from Rikshamn. I'm just reading this. And you live in Kiruna. Let's go. Coming into the steepest bit, and yes, back flipping out of it. Yes, and Douglas is like landing in a really, really good spot. You know what? Because his run out was very, very smooth.
Yeah, also checking speed before the takeoff. That means you're not flying as far and you're landing in steeper terrain. That's really good training there. And unless you're going like Victor Hillwoods, overshooting it by 10 meters, you can have a super smooth landing there.
Exactly. We have not seen any other rider on the skyscraper that Victor has jumped. So here's the double. Yeah, it's very nice. He's coming out really fast on the second. And the backflip, yes, perfectly stopped. So this is exactly what the judges want to see when the backflip is performed. Landing in the middle of the skis. He did land right next to other tracks. And yeah, here we go. Douglas waiting for his score. Douglas has been training. He's not part of the club, but he's coach Melke Carlsen. Should be really proud of him today.
Well, the Swedish have a long history in the Freeride World Tour. Think about Cesar Barin or Rainer Barker, multiple world champions, or Christophe Charlet still active on the tour.
Absolutely, yeah. Douglas is working really hard. He works in a mine in the summer. And so this is the price you got to pay when you want to be skiing all winter. So well done, buddy. That's a very good dedication for skiing.
The tradition of great Swedish skiers on the Freeride World Tour circuit, like Rainer Barker, Cesar Barin, or Christophe Charlet.
Yeah, exactly. All of them.
All of them, yeah. All known for their precise skiing. They grew up in Sweden on this sometimes hard-packed and rough conditions. So when they come to difficult snow conditions here, they don't care. They're like the Kiwis.
That's right. We've got, talking about clubs and coaches, the next rider to get ready in the start gate, number 13, is Ugo Troubat from France, and he is from the Free Ski Academy of Les Arcs, which is definitely one of the first. 76 points for Douglas, yes.
Second place
All
right
now. Happy win. And this is French Ugo getting ready. He is, heavily trained. The Free Ski Academy is just full on. You're training 3 times a week year round. Do you believe this?
This is amazing. But you see that the outcome, when they have produced, so they say, a really great amount of standout riders over the last years. And really complete riders, like they ride the bumps, they go into the park, they ride the half pipe, and they ride freeride, and you see how much that pushes your riding level.
Totally. Let's go. Uba sending bigger than everybody on this first double. And yeah, he's fusing down.
Wow, blind onto the ramp. Now checking the speed. We're probably going to see a trick at the last round. Here's the backflip. Unfortunately getting a little sideways, but the skis are on. He can continue.
Nice little hit. Yeah, good pop out there at the bottom. Oh, that was such a good run for Ugo. What a shame that this backflip did not turn out.
But I'm so amazed about the aggression that these boys showed today, right? They almost jump out the start gate, and the speed they ride with between the features is incredible.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, there's definitely been a lot of work behind it. Here we go. We can see it again. Definitely the biggest prints that we've seen in the snow. Full speed out of this double. Totally blind. Jump out there. He was looking for the entrance of his backflip. In the middle, yeah, he's trying to look ahead.
Let's see what happened there. He's still
very clean in the air. It looks like it was almost flat where he landed.
Yeah, maybe a tiny bit too much speed. We have seen a couple of riders having problems at this landing.
Yeah,
so it's just not easy to get the speed right at the takeoff to catch the transition, which you really want to have a clean landing.
Absolutely, and it's not a matter of power in the legs in this case. I don't think so. We've got heavily trained riders, but yeah, I mean the judges are definitely going to be checking on the technique and the control, and you need to be absolutely perfect to have a chance to make it to the very top.
That is true, and the top is at the moment still Victor Del Hailwoods. He's been sitting in the hot seat for quite a while, surviving the attacks of 12 riders so far. 80 points is still a benchmark of the day.
That's right. Which, yeah, there's room for more. Let's see. Let's see if we get a... So this is 50 points for Ugo. That's really too bad. He's lost so many points. I mean, when you stop, so you can basically, after a back slap or a back sit.
All right, our next rider in the gate, Paul de Portal. And Paul asked me to read something out for you before his run, because his cousin Alice tragically passed away not long ago. So this is the text Paul asked me to read. One of the things I'm the most proud of competitive freeriding is we've managed to professionalize and having fun. For me, the foundation of that joy was built skiing with my family in the forest of Léger every weekend as a kid. With that family, including my cousin Alice, we spent countless happy days not just learning how to ski, but how to live. Tragically, Alice passed away in a mountain accident a few weeks ago. So today, I dedicate this run to her memory. Not in mourning, but in celebration of the legacy of fun, the way we were raised, a legacy I will keep honoring. The mountains are the most beautiful place, but risk must be managed. So train, join freeride clubs, get into the competitive circuit, which I truly believe is one of the best ways to learn how to enjoy the mountains responsibly. Seek guidance from mountain professionals, and above all, never stop having fun. Lots of love, Paul. Wow, I have tears in my eyes as I speak out the last words, and I hope all this energy now transfer into positive energy for Paul.
Absolutely, this is a beautiful tribute to joy, to riding, and to time being shared between all the riders.
And I love it that you say that he is not mourning about his cousin passing away, but he wants to say that the passion is, what steers all of our lives. Otherwise, none of us would be here. We would be sitting at the commentator's booth, and they would be standing up there. Sure, we could do, and that passion should be kept up, but it has to be steered, right?
Let's go,
risk
Paul.
Management. Let's go, Paul.
Time for the show. Yes, sending the double, bringing all of this stuff with him. What a
Looked
beautiful
like he slowed
entrance.
down in order to send the slough down,
Yeah.
right?
Nice little transfer, adapting to the slope, and Paul's aiming for a bottom feature at there.
Here you go,
Yes,
the
he is
classic
backflipping.
takeoff.
What a clean and landing stomp in it,
And
shifting
big
out of
shifty.
it. Paul is absolutely stoked about this run.
Wow. All the energy that we wished him, I think it was right there.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, Paul. You can be proud of this run.
Definitely a good one for his cousin. Wow, we haven't seen such a clean run in a while, Flo.
Please tell the leader that he has to sit in the coach.
Yeah, and I especially love the entry. You see a little side slip it did in order to send this love down. Made it look even more spectacular. Look at that. That was the most amazing entry into that face, into the part of the face.
Yeah, he looked like he was adapting, looking for the best entrance, coming in.
And this lower part is what we've seen as a standout line today, right? The entry was the side hit, and then managing the speed is so crucial for this backflip air, not going too far, in order not to overshoot the tranny.
Exactly. You can feel, how strong and how he uses his core to really like hold on when he lands this backflip.
Yeah.
Paul waiting for his score. Yeah, he's stoked. Just dancing out there.
Yeah, he needs.
While kids in the sofa. You know, that's the best thing about the sofa. It's so big you can invite friends over.
Exactly. So this might well be our top 3. It's really hard for us to see right now.
No, this is not our top 3 because that's this is top 1, inviting his buddies over for a little party.
So 75 is needed for the podium so far. Victor Hillwood's leading the pack with 80 points. Douglas Nordqvist from Sweden 76, and on third right now Noah Pesera with 74.67.
Exactly. And well, I mean, there is everything in that run for Paul to maybe come and play with the top 3 out there. Let's see what comes out.
Well, Paul already has a 4th place from the first challenge at Lavoisier, so
that's right.
Another good result here, and he's in a very good way.
That would secure him
towards the cut.
Yes, towards the rest of the challengers. That would be a really good feeling. Paul made his way. So he's actually competing for Switzerland, but he's half French, half Swiss, and little petite dédicace pour Max Buffet qui nous regarde. His coach Max is watching, and yeah, he's gonna be stoked to see such a run. I am sure. Paul's been training in l'Alpe d'Huez for a while. He does come over to Switzerland quite a bunch. We see him in Verbier. We see him on all of the comps. Around an 81! I can't
Ladies and
believe
gentlemen,
it!
we have a new leader, Paul Le Bourtal, with the vibes of his cousin.
Oh my God, this is amazing! Yeah, Alizé sending
it to the top at the
Paul
moment.
to the top.
81.67. Congratulations, Paul. Wow, what a story.
Absolutely. This is, what's happening here is absolutely beautiful. 81. Very interesting. So judges have really loved seeing how he actually got into the double up top, taking care of choosing the best entrance, adapting to the terrain, adapting to where the first tracks of the 13 first riders were.
But the next rider is a real threat to the current leader, because Paul Danton from Verbier, he has won here before at the Montafon a couple of years ago when we were competing on the other venue. So he knows what it's like to win in Silvretta Montafon. Good luck, Paul Danton.
Let's go, 24 years old.
He's a riding buddy of Victor Hillwood's, and he usually goes just as big as Victor. And we saw what Victor did today, so we can expect something similar from Paul.
Massive hit! He took it from the very, very top. Nobody has done that today. Flo, what is going on?
It's absolutely amazing. The show these boys put on.
Transferring into the steepest
This is
bit.
going for the Victor Hillwood's backflip. Also backflip from it. Can he stick it? He can, riding out on one ski only. Only Paul Danton can do that. Wow. He was so bummed last year when he had a perfect second run in Tour and format, and then the actually second run got cancelled midway. So he was really sad about that, actually angry. So he totally made up for that today. Yeah,
absolutely.
This is his buddy. Congratulations. Look how relieved he is. Wow.
Oh my God. I mean, Paul, this is just unbelievable. What happened a few seconds
He's such a
ago?
strong rider mentally, so you hardly ever see him have these emotions. So he's happy about putting this one down.
I can't believe it. Check out this.
Huge air with a little shift at the top. Super smart, finding a new landing. I'm sure he checked it out at the top, or he got a radio call from the bottom saying, Paul, you have to land a little bit further 2 skiers right in order to avoid the landing hole. And they also for sure told him not to go too fast into the middle part, but this was exceptional. A little compressed, but clean otherwise. Wow.
Yeah. Yes, very clean, avoiding the rocks.
And that's where the summer training pays off. Like, he needed those strong legs he has.
Definitely. You
very
can
much
see
at this landing.
the shake in his body. You realize that, like, the impact in the rider's body is so heavy.
Wow, you and me would have had a back laying in the snow probably. And but
Yeah. Or at
Paul
least a
keeps
little
it
week
together.
of spa ahead of us to make up for this. But this is
Wow.
amazing. I feel like,
Yeah, Paul reckons that this might be a new leader.
Yeah, he's enjoying his time on the couch out there, but he definitely knows that he's going to be threatened.
81-61 is the score to beat. Let's see what the judges have in the pocket for Ball Tonton with 2 massive airs.
Wow, this is incredible. So, yeah, Stefan Hassel has been training
It is a new
him.
leader. 83 point for Paul.
83
Wow.
point. Wow, not from quite close actually, Flo. This is only 2 points separating both balls here today.
Yeah.
And we've got very different lines as well.
Yeah, it seemed like the judges deducted a couple of points for the wobbliness of the backflip, and also they may be thinking that you could put, like, you know, another trick in the middle, might maybe add a 360, which would give you a couple more points. So they have to leave some room towards the maximum of 100 as well.
Absolutely. There could definitely be something in to get into the second part, but this is risky, and I feel like both balls have really taken this risk into account, and they've made their choices in order to get the maximum chances. This is Jan Vialet on course. Yes, and he's doubling, flying out of the top part. He is aiming to a new area.
Yeah, traversing in high. Wow.
Oh, wow!
That was an amazing jump. As we see his key going where he potentially wanted to go, over the next cliff and all the way down. Wow, that's going to be a long way down on one ski for Jan Vialet. But the question I really ask myself is, what exactly was his plan at this jump in the middle? Can you tell me?
I think he was... So a lot of riders have seen this rock as an option for a little double.
Yes.
And I feel like Jan only wanted to, like, jump over one, because it's where he is right now is absolutely flat, and he knew this. So there was no way he wanted to make it there. I think he wanted to land a little bit on the lookers left of it, and and come out and probably keep going.
Well, we see everything was under perfect control at the top, where he goes for the big double. 1, 2. And then here he must have misjudged his takeoff angle to some extent. He takes off there and lands right on this ledge. I could only imagine that he thought his legs were going to be strong enough for this landing, and that he was going to plan to continue and turn it all into one big double.
Which it could be, but I mean, it's full flat. So the chances that you're going to be able to hold a flat landing, that'd be weird. Very, very nice one ski riding out there for Jan.
Yeah.
As he meets up with his second ski at the bottom of the face.
So it'll be very interesting to talk to him after the event to see where he misjudged or miscalculated.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
air in the middle.
Yeah, Flo, I'm pretty amazed about the show today. It looks like it's hard to put down a really safe and clean run. So the only ones that are actually managing to do this are going to be, very well...
Well, it's because the riders are all going to their very limit. It is, as we said before, it is a short venue, so you want to be really fast and you want to maximize those jumps. And we saw 1 or 2 riders doing more conservative runs, and we also saw that then their score was in the mid-60s, so it cannot really be a winning run. So you have to put a lot at stake in order to have a well-scoring run.
That's right. This is Eliot Dänzer getting ready at the top.
Another member and another output of the Lizac Free Ski Academy.
Absolutely. Xavier Troubat is watching, coach is watching, all of the academy is watching this morning. Let's go, Leo.
Wow, was going absolutely huge at the first jump. Unfortunately, not quite being able to ride it out.
Oh, that is really sad. He was actually following Paul Danton's
tracks.
So
I thought it was a great idea to use the angle, but it seems to get harder and harder to land this top jump.
That's right. There are quite a bunch of tracks, about 10 out there in the landing now, and it is changing things.
Yeah, and Xavier is able to keep on riding, but deciding not to put anything at risk and just cruising down towards the finish line.
Leo does know that his run is over. If you want to try to play the game, then you just got to be.
If you had a back to Ross and you had another minute of run ahead of you, you could probably make up for a mistake at the top and score some more points. But when it is actually smart to call it a day after a mistake like that.
Absolutely. Which is quite unfortunate. I feel like riders are going to start asking themselves questions. I know that the ladies are also getting ready at the top, and some of them definitely had the side of the mountain in mind. It's massively changed now, so it's a good thing that they've got options A and B.
That is totally true.
Maybe
And
C.
I mean, Leo is such a strong rider, but you saw him land exactly in the tracks of Paul Lanton, so there was just nothing soft at his landing anymore.
No, exactly. Yeah, you could definitely feel the underlayer. So that's a 30 points for Leo, who comes in 13th place.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
All right.
a very interesting rider in the start gate now. Jake Miller, you have a story to tell, right? You watched him doing one of the most insane moves in freeride freestyle competitions ever just a couple of weeks ago.
Absolutely. Jake Miller at the Nanda BC Invitational was just blowing our minds.
By
Just sending a triple backflip and landing it. Yeah, incredible level of riding. He's been training so hard. He's hanging out with Timo Hulshoven on the World Tour and going for the first hit, doubling it.
It was smart. The double minimizes his impact at the lower landing.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what to do. Well, no doubt, he's coached by Stefan Häusl, probably the most strategic rider the Freeride World Tour has ever seen. And passing on his strategic approach to his riders.
Whoa! Jake Mueller really wanted this backflip at the bottom, because you know why he went through rocks and through the flat bit? He probably asked himself what he was doing there for a minute. But when he came to the exact takeoff, he knew what he was doing, and he just fully sent it, landing in a quite soft landing.
He jumped over this cliff, and we've seen Elliot Dänzer crashed just before and entered a little bit too low towards the takeoff. He actually had to push to get the speed, but he's so comfortable in the air that he had no problem laying out this backflip even with almost zero speed.
Yeah, exactly. So that's interesting, Flo. He took the two biggest hits of the face, a bit like what we've seen in the beginning. So doubling up top, and then in between, because he wanted to minimize risk, he went around, but that was not a good idea. That was not flowy enough,
But
and the judges might not like this little side step.
Amazing air game by Jake Miller. Like, he knew he was very slow, so he actually had to jump off, wait for a second before starting his rotation. Otherwise, the back of his head would have hit the cliff. So really, straight air into late backflip, into clean landing move by Jake Miller. Yeah, Jake the cat. Incredible.
Really wanted this backflip, because and he knew zero speed backflip is not good.
No, it's really difficult to manage to get the rotation in with that little speed.
Exactly.
So very interesting to see what the judges think about it. I mean, it wasn't really a mistake. It was just approaching with very little speed. Yeah.
I think there's a little line issue there, and the judges might definitely take this into account.
And the issue was in the approach of the backflip, not the jump itself,
exactly.
right?
But really what the judges want to see is a ski movie line. And if you take this little flowiness away from it, 70 points for Jake Mueller, putting him...
Well, not just the judges. We want to see,
we all want to see a movie line.
Spectacular, nice-looking lines.
Absolutely. And really, this is what we're going to push for. So this is Maxime Pezet, 23 years old, getting ready in the start gate. All right.
He's sitting on 16th place at the Challenger ranking right now.
Yeah, he's riding in the Grand Massif, and he's been competing for 2 years, coached by Greg Lusco on the Young Rider crew. And yes, Maxime sending it onto the double.
Keeping his speed up, approaching the mid-air where we had some people going blind. Whoa, new
Oh,
approach.
wow.
off the pyramid. Unfortunately, getting stuck with one ski on an old track and losing his balance. Just back on his feet, but probably
Massive
not doing
hit.
the bottom run that he wanted to.
Very, very big hit at the bottom. That was really nice and flowy. Something definitely happened in the middle out there. And we've seen that before. This is kind of what happened to Benoît Lamour in the beginning. I feel like the snow might just be variable. You might feel some rocks underneath. Snow alligators are definitely hanging out in Silvretta Montafon as well.
Yeah, alligator, sharks, all kinds of animals are trying to grab your skis from the bottom.
Exactly. As we see him entering here, he is taking this cliff rider's right.
And he was going to do a left turn, probably going to the same, we call it the mandatory backflip.
Oh, wow. Do you think so?
Yeah, I think so. It looked like he was going to go for a left turn here. And but his left ski had a different idea and just sent him the other direction.
It could be it. Yeah, and I just sent him with a bunch of speed at the bottom.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I wonder what the judges are. I mean, they probably know. You usually know when a rider has had to change his mind last minute.
Yeah, you do. I mean, even the body language of the riders as they're approaching their first jumps, always speaks out a lot. When you're a judge, you're so focused on those riders, you watch them even in the start get already, and it gives you an idea what they're up for on the particular day.
Exactly. Oh, there we go. We can see Maxime and Benoît, who've been caught by the same action, talking together, and it is 48 points for Maxime, unfortunately. So yeah, he's just missing something there, because 48 with an unintended front flip is still a pretty good score. So
it is.
Could have been interesting. Maxime is definitely a big cliff rider. He doesn't trick so often, and yeah, and he loves his mom's food. Good Maxime.
With 30 years of age, he's one of the more, almost a veteran in this young field. Well, I did my last Freeride World Tour season being 42, so there's hardly any riders at this age.
Maxime is 23 though.
Really?
Maxime's
Did I
still
bring
young.
him online?
Oh yeah. This is Maximilien Michel. On course, he was fired up in the start gate.
Yeah, I'm talking about Maximilien Michel being 30 years old. Oh, unfortunately having a big...
Yes, that was quite a nice
riding
drop
out the
at
top
there.
part.
All right, transferring into the steep bit, being caught
leaning a bit,
on rocks as well.
Too much towards the wall, as
Max
say.
is he still aiming for the plan
Yeah,
A?
he is,
Yes.
he is.
Max loves a good backflip. Was a little control issue, but yep, he is firing it down. Yay, beautiful. Sorry, Flo, you were talking about the other Max, yeah?
Yeah.
So Max is
The two Maxes, yeah.
in the 30 years old. Yeah, and well, he was he definitely did grow up in the south of France, skiing in Pralou, but he now came all the way up to Chamonix in order to be coached by the young riders crew and to improve his riding. Chamonix is quite a mecca as well. We can see the top of his run out there. Beautiful cliff at the bottom, and
Yeah, the replay did not show us the mistake. He was approaching his mid-air with a left turn, where he got hung up, and then he gets hung up again here. His right ski kind of stops a little bit. So now not really.
first in La Rosière, yes, and he's sending the first double. Nice. Well, this is
very typical for years with thin snowpack. It's that the high temperature gradient between the actual bottom, the bottom of the snowpack and the top, is very big, and that leads to the snowpack turning into sugar crystals. So, especially when it's only a snowpack of like 10-15 centimeters, the way it's here, and not much snowfall over many weeks, it'll just be sugar, and you just fall through that thin layer all the way.
from the Free Ski Academy, yes, sending this double. All right. Nemo is stumping. He is aiming to the couloir, 360ing into the chute. Yes, Nemo, this is something that we have not seen before. very, very good commitment out there, back flipping out of it. Unfortunately, slightly, totally tumbling. Oh, Nemo, that was such a solid run. I really, really wish we could have seen you, firing it down all the way to the bottom. Right. Well, I guess we'll. There are 10 riders from the Free Ski Academy today. There are 10 riders from the Free Ski Academy today.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. Well,
you're riding with your buddies, they're fully sending, and next thing you know, you're just ending up doing the same thing. Next thing you know, you're just ending up doing the same thing. And yes,
Whoa.
he is. And yes,
Whoa.
he is doing the same thing, doubling it up.
Full speed to double. That was really a lot of risk he took there. You know, the amount of speed he used to enter the double. Smart entry to ramp, controlling his speed. I'm probably going to see a backflip off that same cliff that we've seen. His little sideways on the backflip, but putting it to his feet. Congratulations, Max.
Wow, very, very solid.
No fussing around.
Feature. No, exactly.
Max. I think that's going to be a solid score, because especially that top part was really nice. You can hear the applause of the riders at the finish area. Yeah, that's always a good sign, and it feels really. That's always a good sign, and it feels really well when you are going over the finish line, and you're standing in front of the sponsor wall, and then you hear the others clapping their hands. You know, did something. Look at this double. A lot of speed. And I think it's very smart to take a little less speed. Middle part here, because we have so many riders who had troubles there.
Wow, he really adapted on the stake up of the backflip, because he was totally tweaked, but he managed to put it down.
Finding a fresh landing there, which is crucial, obviously, in that area where we have so many riders. Right. So, time to sweat for our current top 3. If he wants to be on the podium.
Absolutely. He does. And, well, they're fighting. The top 3 is definitely in the mood for some more actions like this.
So this is where the judges compare runs. Yeah, the judging sheets are made in a way that each rider's score is below the score of the rider who was riding just before him. So you can really well compare different runs, because the actual points, the actual number of points is not so crucial for the ranking. It's just, is the rider in front or after the one that has similar run to that rider.
Exactly, it is a full comparison. So even though you know that you're gonna get that amount of points if you jump that many meters cliff, or if you do a backflip on it, and there is definitely a judging rulebook that's giving you a good idea of how to get points, but still it is a comparison judging system.
Exactly.
So we can see them debating at their, we can see Dodo watching the video just in case the judges have missed
and
or need more information.
The judges go according to the categories, which is the choice of line the riders
absolutely
has decided to do, the fluidity, the number and difficulty of the tricks, the fluidity, and last but not least technique. But they eventually come up with only one figure, and that is the overall score.
Exactly, so they take a lot of things into account. Max is praying for his score right now. He cannot wait, he is really stoked. And there's no such thing as knowing what the others thought about your run.
Wow.
He could hear the crowd though, so he's got a good idea.
Crowd. Well, he needs about 75 points for a top 5, and that is 75 sharp. 5th place for Max Zimmermann. That's a keeper for sure.
Absolutely, 75.
Best on a day like today. Congratulations, Max.
Very interesting. All right, and next rider is Vetle Gangeskar from Norway. 21 years old. He is from Oslo. He usually rides Roldal and Emsedal. And he loves his little cork threes. So let's see. Is this face really a trickable face for anything else than backflips and 360s? That's a good question. We're about to see. Let's go. Vetle, some slough coming down, doubling it up.
Well, not much freestyle on the top part. Just as spectacular as Maximilien Pavlov. So really comparable, the top part of these riders. Wow, blind entry. And just keeping in the fall line.
Oh!
Unfortunately, being ejected after landing. Wow, probably the traverse tracks has got him there as well.
It did, and that was the risk, and he knew it. He knew that straight lining down this double full speed, he would hammer this traverse, and unfortunately, yeah, it did.
But I really liked Vetle's approach. Like, what a determination, right? Coming over the blind roll and just keeping his keys in the fall line, going legs on.
This is
landing
Freeride.
at warp speed. This is pure Freeride spirit. Can't wait to see the replay on this one.
All right, so coming down at heavy speed and then
he
just
doesn't turn.
Jumping. No turning. So unfortunately, it's not even the traverse, it's the landing at the bottom of the cliff out there.
Yeah.
That we can't really
You can tell how
see.
fast he was by the way he got bounced back into the air.
Exactly.
And
He was
solid
just
2
going.
meters off the ground. Just right.
If you are going
After the
so
landing.
fast, your balance needs to be so perfect. The inclination that you arrive and land on the snow, the slope, yeah, considering the slope as well, everything is so important. And riders know this, so they're really, really trying to adjust. But sometimes it's just too powerful. Like gravity is still the master up to this point.
Gravity is still the master. Yeah, without gravity we wouldn't be skiing.
Exactly. We love gravity. Otherwise we'd be doing backflips forever on the moon, and that would be boring. So yeah, well actually I wonder if his ski is broken down, because he is skiing with what? Oh no, his ski is at the bottom. That was his pole in his hand. Yeah, Vetle's encountered his other friend, and judges are getting ready for the next rider.
Which is the last skier of the day in the men's ski category.
Absolutely, Finbar Doig from Ireland. Finbar is 23 and he is he's skiing in Nanda in Switzerland. He is originally from Scotland.
But proudly representing Cairngorm in Scotland as his home mountain. So who says you can't become a proper freerider when you grow up in Scotland?
Let's go! Beautiful double, and oh no, Finbar is tumbling down that first double. He is super bummed. It was a really, really nice entry to this venue.
Yeah, incredible amount of victims today to the difficult snow conditions.
I can't believe it.
We had sugar, powder, traverse tracks, rocks in landings and in traverses, and just a lot of riders being taken down. If you look at our overall results, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 riders out of 23 who actually lost the ski, and then we had another 7 with major control issues. So it's like not even a third of the crew being able to put a clean run down today.
Wow, this is unbelievable. This is definitely.
One more time, the double by Finbar. Yeah, he was really back-seated, had a stage 3 landing. Obviously, once your back touched the snow, it is hard to regain that control. Ladies and gentlemen, that means we have no other riders at the start, and we do have a final ranking in today's Freeride World Tour Challenger by Orage in Silvretta Montafon.
Absolutely. So, yeah, final ranking being prepared.
Well, I'm sure we'll have it on the screen in a minute, but we can give credits to the guys right away. What do you think?
Absolutely.
5th place today from Germany, Max Zimmermann. 4th place, Douglas Nordqvist from Sweden. 3rd place, Victor Helwoods. Congratulations for the podium. Paul Portales on 2nd, and we are very happy that he did so great today. And the winner of the day, ladies and gentlemen, Paul Danton from Verviers, Switzerland.
Absolutely. What a show, from this top 5, from everybody really. And yeah, I'm really stoked that some of them could actually really put the run that they wanted.
Exactly. But amazing to see as well that our winning score today is 83 points. So typically sometimes we go high into the 90s. You see how difficult it was today with these conditions to go big and clean at the same time for the skier man.
Exactly. And I do remember, at the beginning when Simeon Pavlov, who dropped in first, was quite disappointed with his 64 points. Well, I mean, fair enough. The judges just were maybe thinking that snow could be a bit less forgiving, a bit more forgiving, and they could see a major show. But man, the show was tough today.
True.
So massive congrats to all of the riders, and yeah, we're definitely expecting some redemption at the next comp. Oh, here we go. So yeah, this is Paul Danton. So this is actually the Swiss trio on top.
Triple victory for Switzerland, despite almost 50% of the starters field being from France. Switzerland taking it home with a triple victory. You don't have that too many times. Congratulations to our winners.
Yeah, and we can see on 11th place, Maximilien, all the way down there with our 7 riders losing skis. So you do get NS, which is a no score when you lose a ski.
Yeah, you actually do still get a score between 0 and 1 points, and that defines the order of the no scores, because it's still important to collect those points. Still a difference between 20th and 23rd place point points.
For the future. And, well, there is no time for the wait, because riders are ready. And we already have the first snowboard man in the start gate. Out there, this is James Veitch from Great Britain. He's 24 years old, and he is ready. He did end up at the 10th place in La Rosière. Yeah, James got such a nice style floor.
That's true.
I'm stoked to see him riding in Austria.
Yeah.
He's definitely keeping moving, staying warm at the top of the space. The sun ended up shining.
It is, and James is a former winner of the Open Faces Montafon 4-star qualifier, so he knows what it's like to be at the top of a podium.
Right, and he's
a mountain.
dropping in. Yes, aiming for that double as well.
That is huge for a snowboarder. Amazing double.
Whoa!
Some control issues there at the bottom, but stays.
Man, totally well managed. James aiming towards the steep bit.
Wow.
Stay on your feet, buddy. Managing the rocks in the middle and jumping out of it. Nice job, James.
Tiny bit too aggressive maybe on the ramp before his last jump. Losing control there for a second, which was a pity, because until then it was an enormous display of skill and ambition.
Absolutely. He didn't know what he wanted, and you could see him shaking in the start gate. He was going after it.
I'm so proud of James for doing the double at the top. That was really spectacular.
And when you think that some of the skiers had troubles managing it, it's unbelievable that he did it.
Let's check the replay. Here it is. Bomb. It's the landing. Just putting a hand down, really, for stabilization at the landing. See, putting the hand down, right back on his board. But that's where the trouble kind of started. What happened there? Just got thrown around by the funky snow and the mix of grass, rocks, and old tracks before regaining control and finding his exit. Yeah, James.
He looks like it.
He's smiling. He's smiling, but obviously
happy, not happy.
Happy, not happy. Well, following the tracks of Sacha Ham, also a Brit who was based in Chamonix and for many years was always good for some of the craziest moves on the Freeride World Tour. Had to finish a career after a big crash in Fieberbrunn that hurt his left shoulder very badly. 48 for James Veitch. Well, big props on that moment for Sacha Ham. Maybe he's watching. Hope you're fine, buddy, and your left arm is back functioning.
All right, so yeah, Sacha a little bit disappointed. This is Gabin Bouzanne getting ready.
Gabin Bouzanne.
Now the French rider, he's from the Free Ski Le Belleville, so he does ride in a club, and he is aiming for the double as well, it looks
so
like.
We'll be able to compare. Oop, that looked... Yeah, he landed on a field. There was not much snow left after the...
Exactly, that could have put him backseat already, but he keeps going.
He keeps going. It's a good thing about snowboarding, right? You never lose a ski.
No.
So you can just keep going. Going for another double. Nice one. Very unfortunate for Gabin for that mistake at top, because the lower part was really nice.
Absolutely. Really nice line. over there. It does look like this side of the top double is getting really sharky.
Well, the thing is, as a snowboarder, you have to enter to that top double at the far Lucas left, because there, if you go further Lucas right, it's just too big, and you fly all the way to the flat for the second landing. But that first in-between landing on the Lucas left hardly has any snow left. So we see it just lands on the grass pretty much, loses balance, and yeah, that's a huge deduction, because if the judges see that you're approaching a landing and you have no chance landing it, because you come in like head first, or in his case back first, yeah, this is judged as a big crash. The bottom part was really nice, very controlled, very determined.
Exactly. This could be a bottom feature for more snowboarders, because it looks like it's quite natural to come in.
Yeah, might well be, yeah.
The jumps are, quite manageable. And so we might see...
And we saw today in the men's skiing field, this is about riding smart today, yeah. Just going big is not going to count. It's just too sketchy condition-wise. The snow is so variable. The landings are tricky. It's hard to slow down, especially for the snowboarders in between the features. So this is about a smart run today.
You're absolutely right. And some of the snowboarders have definitely seen the first skiers come down, either on the live or from the bottom of the face, which probably gave them a really good idea of the quality of the snow and how hardly manageable it is. So hopefully they've been taking this into account for their run. This is Cesar Barin. Drop it in.
One of the youngest today, together with Kea Chretien, 19 years of age. Wow, spectacular entry on the far Lucas ride with lots of slough, and also very smart, finding a new powder pocket to land. So no mistake yet by Cesar. Entering onto the ramp with another hit, slowing down. He's gonna be ready. Get ready for his last exit there.
Massive hit at the bottom.
Wow.
Wow.
And a beautiful stomp, controlling his speed. He knew that Troubat was going to come and slow it down. Wow, bring that home, Cesar, and you'll have an outstanding score for this run, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I cannot believe how powerful.
Whoa, I give him an extra round of applause from snowboarder to snowboarder.
19 years old. Cesar's been absolutely killing the space.
Wow.
Wow, this is also a new line for the day. This top entrance was really creative. He's made, a beautiful turn, dropping in, finding some pretty clean landing, definitely untouched landing. And then the way he entered, so confident into that second part, the no-fall zone part, which is full of sharks right now.
And you could tell he was at the limit speed-wise a couple of times, but he was right where you have to be, not too fast, managing speed really well, finding a transition on this big bottom air, and stomping it.
Very impressive riding.
And it's really tough for the snowboarders. You stomp your last cliff and you know you're not done yet, because you have all those traverse tracks and the bumps at the bottom still to deal with. But you managed very well until the finish line. That's going to be a great score.
All right, Well, Cesar, you are, I guess you're starting the game of today. Freeride Academy from Le Belleville. And what a pleasure to be part of a team. His sister is here today. Oh, I didn't see. What was the...
79.33, so almost 80 points. That's a new standard in the snowboard main category, and of course the lead right now. But the next guy is a real threat to lead. 1 year younger even, Kea Chretien, our 3 times Freeride Junior world champion on the snowboarding. Just won his 3rd title this year, and it was the last one because next year he'll be too old.
All right, well, let's go, Kea.
Kea Chretien, a big surfer boy. His family lives half the year in South Africa and half the year in Maribel, Courchevel. But also him landing on the same in-between landing of the double.
Exactly, although he is a regular, and I don't know, they could have dealt with this in another way, but no, same thing happened out there. All right, not scared of anything. He just keeps coming. Ooh.
Unfortunately, getting stuck one more time in a really awkward way, right in the backside turn. Ooh, that was didn't look too spectacular, but it was a hard impact. Wow, Kea, who's always smiles and actually hardly ever falls. He's a very small guy and he seems so agile. You don't see that too often. That
must have been
Kea
really
has
tricky.
troubles. Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah, checking his head, making sure he's fine. Yeah, he definitely looks a bit puzzled. Yeah. Yes.
All right. Well, this is a bummer. It was definitely.
Yeah, he got really shaken around badly. I'm not sure if it was the crash at the very top or actually the not so spectacular looking crash in the middle. See, we have to. I almost want to tell the snowboarders at the bottom that there is no more snow left. So he lands on grass and on rocks, and then can't keep his balance.
And he was holding his head from this point already.
Yeah, but if you see that. Yeah. Really awkward to land. Nice air with an indie grab, and I think this is the. I hope we see the replay of the bottom air because this is where things been kind of wild. Right here.
Yeah, something weird
and I
happened
think
there.
this right now, this was the very last impact before he stopped. I think that would have hurt his head. Really strong impact. But
all right.
Obviously he's okay. 15.67 the score. That's a throwaway one for him.
Indeed.
So we have a guy who's the only one to pass through the start gate 2 times today. Gabriel Bletton, the amazing rider who actually competes on skis and on snowboard in the same event. So he had to go back down, change from ski boots to snowboard boots, grab his board, go up again, hike to the start one more time, just in time to be there for his second run.
Absolutely.
Very
After
amazing.
a beautiful run skiing, Gabriel, he has been on the World Tour and he's definitely in here for a win again.
Also aiming for the double, but a different approach, and that was actually a great approach.
Very
I wonder
smart.
if that was the same line. He did choose the skis, but he found the good snow.
360ing! Yes, the same one as he did on skis. Very
so
nice
one. Are we
one.
going to see a backflip on the same
Probably.
same cliff? Yeah, we are.
Ooh, come on, Gab. Well, that was not far from the rocks, but I mean, good recovery.
Good recovery after some troubles. Full speed to the bottom. He makes it over the finish line without any further troubles. Wow, that was a super nice one.
That was a really fast run.
How much deduction there's going to be for that control issue at the landing after the backflip?
He's definitely probably going to lose the points of the backflip, but I mean, the rest of the line was really, really good, so that could be enough.
So the judges make a big difference if a jump is being landed and you fall afterwards and you only get deductions for the landing. If they say no, you never had a chance to really land that jump, you lose the points for the jump and get a deduction for the landing.
Look at the 360, it was so well executed.
So here's the flap. Let's see what happened there. The jump itself looked nice. Puts it down. Maybe tiny bit of an under rotation.
Absolutely.
Very similar actually to his ski
Same.
backflip. Same. Kind of overestimating the size of the jump. Let's check one more time. So he comes around and then it looks like his toes kind of get stuck.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, we're just missing 1 meter of air on that jump.
Yeah, the rotation would have had to be a tiny bit faster. But nevertheless, we really liked the run, didn't we?
Absolutely loved it. Yeah, this is very, very incredible to have so many skills, skiing
that's unreal.
That's and snowboarding. Yeah, Gab is a teacher, so you know, if you need tips in any or the other, then he is definitely a master. He's loved his time on the tour. It definitely gave him the opportunity to go and travel to like a higher level, and I'm stoked that he still wants to keep going with 38 years old on the challengers. There's so much space for people with experience like him, and we want to share this time, all of the youngsters and all of the experienced ones. That's a really
he's
good
this
time.
amazing mixture of a super mellow character and at the same time super ambitious and super skilled. Really outstanding freerider.
Absolutely. And yeah, we were kind of saying yesterday that riders do have very, very different personalities. They pursue the same addiction for adrenaline, that is for sure.
That is true.
In such, they're all so different, and they've got a different approach to the mountain, to their style of riding, which is what we appreciate so much and what makes the sport such a good show. 68 points for Gabriel, taking him to the second place.
Well, despite the troubles on the second place, given the fact that we have, I think, 13 snowboarders today, that might well be a keeper result for him.
Absolutely. Well, this is without thinking that quickly Charlet is getting ready in the start gate.
Well, Christophe Charlet was already competing when I was still competing on the tour, and 34 years of age now. He's one of the all riders in the snowboarding field, still full of determination. Yeah, and bringing his Chamonix big mountain riding style into the Freeride world, just as he did 20 years ago. Nice double, riding it out. I think it was very smart to stop for that 1 or 2 seconds at the top to make sure he gets his angle right and not have the same troubles that we saw a couple of riders have at this double.
Finding some nice snow out there. The last few turns, yeah, it looks like he's definitely enjoying the POW. Coming in the side, taking all of the hits that he encounters on his way. Yes, with a nice bottom hit. Facing the finish line, and yeah.
Playing it very smart, not taking the biggest risk anymore after a spectacular top entry, just collecting point by point without putting too much at stake. Very smart riding today by Christopher.
Yes, good one. I wonder, I wonder if watching the guys go on this morning has changed. He's put you nice, really nice top section.
That top bowl is so spectacular, right? No matter from which side you enter, the slough comes down. Now with more shadow in it, it really looks more gnarly even than it did in the morning.
It did. Yeah, making the most of the face. Those turns look actually delicious on the snowboard flow.
Yeah, well, what he did was making the most of the snow, which is still untouched in many areas on the Lucas left side of the mountain. And snowboarding was invented to ride powder. Snowboarding was never meant to be. Snowboard was not invented to be ridden on a slope or in a bump slope or in tracked out terrain.
Or
no,
in a
it
slalom?
was meant for powder. No, for sure not. Skiing maybe yes, but snowboarding no.
That's a good thing.
It's a luxury piece of sports equipment. Like you want an untouched powder field.
I see. Yeah. Rebels.
So my favorite way of snowboarding is actually climbing up a long ridge for a couple of hours and then riding down an untouched couloir. That to me, that is the pure essence of snowboarding.
I see.
Yeah, so you don't even need a split board or anything. It's just hike up over rocks with his boots and ski down in powder.
And Christophe Charlet stepping into the third spot today with 60 points. It is interesting. You know what? We've got, wait a second, Arvid Gustavsson getting ready.
Yeah, one of the smaller riders, but always ready for a big score, Arvid Gustavsson.
Totally. So coming from Sweden, Arvid actually rides in Verbier at the moment. And yeah, he's been competing for 3 years now, so he's definitely getting used to being in the start gate. And Arvid Gustavsson dropping in.
His coach being Luisa Brunetti. I think really interesting. He obviously has a female coach.
Nice.
Nice.
Doubling it there on the side.
Wow, staying on his front side edge, which makes it really hard to slow down. Yeah, that's what I was kind of afraid of. When you're trying to slow down, you almost want to be on your backside edge when there's a lot of tracks. Otherwise, you just can so easily be thrown off balance and just tracked out parts of the face.
Yeah, he had so much speed that all of the tracks definitely were obstacles on his way.
Whoa, look at this bottom air for Arvid Gustavsson. Throws down the biggest backflip of the day we've seen in the lower part of the face. Seems like other riders haven't even seen the chance to do a move like this there. That was incredible.
Absolutely, what a show! Arvid not being like hammered by his top section. He's done. He kept the motivation very, very high.
Absolutely amazing bottom part by Arvid Gustavsson.
Beautiful, and indeed, I feel like people have not seen the potential of this bottom feature, but you can totally send yourself.
I'm totally with you there. I'm sure we'll have it in the replay. See, this is where things were wrong. So he.
That was a nice cliff here at the bottom, and this backflip was absolutely massive. Airing it, taking time to check out the landing, just wide open.
judging works in a way that as a rider leaves the start gate, he is at 50 points, and if he makes mistakes, the score will obviously go down, and if he does great moves, the score will go up. So this would have been a roller coaster for the judges, like, you know, soaring high score with that amazing top part, then moving down for the control issues, and then going back up again with the amazing backflip at the bottom. So big challenge for the judges to come up with the right score for this run.
Exactly. There, yeah. The movements of the judging field on the judging sheet will be pretty big. But I mean, when you see that the rider is disappointed, that definitely tells you that this was not the plan.
Yeah, I just had a discussion with Jimmy Schröder, who's competing on the Freeride World Tour these days in Georgia, that the riders always try to convince the judges that they did great stuff, even if it was not a good run, because they have a feeling that if they go through the finish line, you know, with Rames Darn claiming a great run, then it makes the judges feel they had a great run. But I'm not sure that judges can be fooled, because they're so focused on the riding and to give the right score.
Hopefully they're not. Hopefully they can't be fooled, and they'll just keep a very...
But you can tell by the amount of time it takes now for the judging that this is a more difficult run than, especially, for example, the one from Christophe Charlet before. 58, so yeah, so let's say it would have been a 78 or something, and a 20 points deduction for the crash. So could have, would have, should have.
Exactly, it would have been
also for
really nice to see this run really clean.
Well, there's no could have, would have, should have for our next rider, Florian Handschuh from Germany or Austria. Well, he lives in Germany, he's Austrian, who actually had, well, not him, but his wife had a baby yesterday, and that's reason enough to skip the competition and stay at home with the family. So congratulations to the Handschuh family, and all the best for the newborn.
Yeah, absolutely. This is amazing. We've got Marc Robert coming down the face. Yes! Coming down this big hit, and you know what? He was not afraid of all of the skier's bum hole.
No. But
so yeah, there definitely was a little control issue out there on the landing, but he came out pretty nicely.
Wow, opening up a new cliff. No one has jumped that part today. Next cliff. Solid run by him. Approaching the Arvid Gustavsson backflip there, also going big. Wow, racing towards the finish. Keep it together. There's still a couple of speed bumps ahead.
Absolutely. What a nice run for Marc, I must say. Beautiful cliffs in between. He's definitely found some pretty big rocks to jump in the middle after the beautiful hit at the top.
But once again, it will come down to the judges to see how they punish, and they must punish the backslip he had after his entry air. Beautiful air. Boom. Disappearing a big cloud of snow, and it looks like he had his back on the snow for a second.
Bottom. Maybe just a bottom.
So I'm sure Dodo Conrad is right now reviewing the this landing and telling the judges what it looked like on the video.
Really nice hits out there at the bottom. We can see the tracks after the riders have landed, and they're definitely tracking all of those landings. That's going to be to take into account for the women category that are going to come afterwards.
Well, Cesar Barin sitting quite comfortably in the hot seat, knowing that Marc Robert, with the mistake after landing off the first year, is probably not going to challenge his 79.33, which have put him into first place.
That's right. You would really need the perfect cleanest run to start triggering the judges about this first spot. And we've got Marc looking at the sky, expecting his score. The judges are staying focused. Marc usually rides in Chasseral in Valais, so down in the Swiss resorts, and Valentin Lambert is his coach. He loves backside 180s, apparently. And yeah, today is definitely not a freestyle comp venue, but I mean, people can get quite creative anyway.
Yeah, that's true. We have seen a couple of threes, a couple of backflips, but 70.33 putting Marc into second place. Yeah, that's going to be a key result for him for sure, because we only have another 5 riders at the top. And the first of those is Luca Munoz. So, time for some Spanish. Vamos, viva España. Bienvenido a la gente de España que están con nosotros ahora. La familia de Lucas Munoz.
Vamos,
Los
Lucas.
amigos.
Let's go. Beautiful lineup at the top at there. Little issue on the landing, but he does keep going strong.
Similar control issue to the one Marc Robert had just before. Also being back on his feet super quickly.
Very nice. And Lucas knows exactly where he is going. He had a pretty clear idea since yesterday. Nice little shifty. And one last drop. All right, that was pretty straightforward. You know what, Flo? This is definitely some go-to riding that we've got here, and yeah, that's enough to make a coach proud. Muy bien, David Vincente. Muy bien coachado. We've got a pretty nice run here, and there we go. There was definitely some back and the right hand in the snow at the top, but really it didn't take Lucas from doing a good show afterwards. And so he kept going, yeah, lining up. When you look at the face from where the judges are looking at it, this line is very easy to find and understand, and it makes a lot of sense to just go straight down out there. All right. Look at that there at the bottom. All the riders have traveled from really far. Well, 16 different countries represented today. That definitely is a bunch, and so you got to come from far. They're so motivated, and especially for the challengers, because those series are going to happen on the 5 next weeks, including this weekend. So there's no time for work in between. There's no time for anything else. You really got to stay focused, and it tells a lot about the dedication that those athletes have.
Yeah, just to get there, it's a big project. You have to do at least a season or 2 on the qualifiers, collect points at 1 or 2 star qualifiers in order to be able to enter the 3 or 4 star qualifiers, where you then potentially can collect enough points to be part of the exclusive crew of the Challenger riders. And then it all starts over again. You have those 6 Challenger competitions every year, and only the very top ones, will score enough points to make it to the Freeride World Tour. So it's not as easy as it was a couple of years ago. You just have to do 1 or 2 good runs. You were up at the tour. It's really a project now, and you need a lot of dedication and time.
It is a project. It's, you know what, Flo? I feel 56 points for Lucas Munoz. All right.
Bien hecho, Lucas.
And we've got the next rider, Asato Yoshida, 38 years old, ready to drop in. Asato is from Japan. Talking about people who've been traveling the world, here we go.
There you go, the oldest man in this snowboardman category.
All right.
Going right over the Nar. It looks so spectacular. Yeah. If you look out the window, we see him.
It is absolutely
right in between those rocks. It's amazing. Sending his slough down, jumping right into his slough, coming out clean. So one of the few riders of the day in the snowboard category that we've seen finishing that top part really clean. So
absolutely
great start. Beautiful in the air. A little bit of a stop, but staying on his feet.
Exactly.
So no major deduction there. Next air, really solid done so far.
Nice hit. Nobody had taken it yet. Yes,
oh!
Massive 360, jumping over the rocks.
Asato Yoshida saving the best for last. Wow, that was an amazing run by the Japanese rider. No signs of being the oldest snowboarder on the mountain today.
Not at all. Flying down out of this 360, just straight lining to the finish line. What a run for Asato.
And he is stoked, and he has all reason to be so. Wow. That was a beautiful run. Congratulations one more time, Asato.
This top part is so pretty.
Yeah, taking it a little smaller than other riders, and not as a double, but very smart. No mistake there. Here comes the in the air. And this was absolutely amazing. There is no takeoff really, so you have to come in with speed and you have to clear the rocks at the bottom.
Which he landed right on.
Looking super flawless. Wow.
Very, very good riding. Yeah, interesting. So the cliff in the middle where Gab had set a 360 was definitely a go-to.
Yep.
But I feel like Asato chose to actually keep the show for later just to make sure that the landing was a bit less tricky.
Yeah, I mean, we know he's 69 point, third place for Asato Yoshida right now. Wow. On the podium at the moment, and only 3 to go, so he's going to be anxiously waiting at the bottom.
Absolutely. And very anxiously because Ugo Serra, old World Tour rider, trying to requalify, is getting ready. And yeah, and Ugo's been shredding Verbier since the beginning of the season. He's really fired up. He's been filming his movie and definitely training.
And he's putting so much time and effort in the coaching of the snowboard, of the Freeride Snowboard Club in Verbier.
Absolutely.
Keep coaching next generation, so doing a lot of things at the same time. Wow, all the experience, it's what he put into this turn at the very top.
Beautiful top air.
Being such a tall guy, almost 190, is still so stylish, and he is capable of throwing the most beautiful backflips.
Totally entering the Nara zone, the Sharky zone. Yes, managing really well. 360ing out of this bottom cliff. That was huge. He disappeared for a second, but you know what? He is flying out of this cliff. What a run, Hugo.
Full speed out the bottom. Yeah, defying all the tracks. Wow.
What a stylish rider. Flo, I can't believe he chose like the most complicated little part to get in, like the gnarliest thing. And all of this to go show his style out of the bottom cliff, sending this beautiful 360.
Amazing combination of difficult line charge, but still keeping the fluidity up. A spectacular entry in the 360 at the bottom, all in one run. Using his super long legs as a suspension system.
Very, very practical.
Yeah, just entering this part of the face there with a jump is so difficult. It's blind, you don't know where to jump, you're not sure what kind of snow to expect, and then you have to manage the speed. Here's the 3. Let's look at that landing. I'm sure Dodo Conrad is reviewing this on and on and on. It's definitely a bit in the backseat, but with the help of the hand stabilizing his control, it's a tough one. I don't want to be a judge when it comes to moments like this. It's just
I totally
so
agree.
hard.
I totally agree. Yeah, because you really want to push the sand, and at the same time you want the sand to be clean in order for it to be safe.
Exactly.
It is very tricky.
When I judge, and I still do it quite a couple of times over the season, I always in discussions when people have great recoveries, because I always feel I almost want to reward a recovery, but then obviously the judging book says, well, a recovery is because of a loss of control, right?
Absolutely.
So, then there is no extra points for recoveries, but I think there should be. Like in a skier, like comes in rides one ski for a couple of meters, it almost crashes, it gets back together. I think it's great.
That's right.
Because judging should follow the emotion. So it's it's interesting too.
I agree. This is definitely what's happening through the mind of the rider when recovering. It's like, whew, and then that's happening to us as spectators, which I have heard critiques about commentators that we're only seeing the positive thing, which is definitely my kind. But really, when there's mistakes, there are mistakes, and the judges need to penalize this.
Exactly. That's why we love to commentate rather than the judge, because we can cheer for the positive sides, and we don't have to care so much about the not so perfect things. We leave that to the judges.
Absolutely.
So
we just want to be stoked.
So I'm sure the judges are stoked about Hugo's run, but they have to decide on the amount of deduction for a not super clean landing.
They do.
Of the last jump. Let's see what the outcome is.
Ugo has been competing for like 10 years. We've been in so many comps together. It's so nice to see him performing even better, like just just keeping evolving as the years go by. Freeriding is one of the only sports where really you can be old and good.
Exactly. Yeah, like us.
Exactly. Actually, yeah, you just become better.
77 puts Hugo in second place. Woohoo! Congratulations, Hugo. So we have a new podium for the moment. Cesar Barin still in the lead with 79 out of Hugo Serra and Marc Robert with 70 points. But Eliot Dänzer is up there. And he can only defeat himself. Eliot is such an amazing rider. You know, he can throw down anything. Big mountain lights, freestyle moves. But sometimes he just goes too big or too crazy and then has the most amazing crashes. I wish him the right amount of control today.
Yes, we want it perfect. Yes, Eliot. All right.
What was that? He like did a 180, sliding 180 in a snow cloud after landing off his first feature. Be careful, that this has cost a couple of good riders runs today.
Nice.
Manages to stay on his feet over this difficult middle part.
Coming in the middle.
And here comes the 3.
Beautiful 360 out of that last
the
hit.
tracks, another hit.
Yeah, man, he's passed the track like if nothing.
Nice from
Very
Eliot.
well
Wow,
controlled.
not easy to make it all to the finish line over these humps and bumps at the bottom.
All right, that was a really interesting follow-up of things, I must say.
Yeah, once again, a rider who did not put the perfectly clean run down. There was definitely some control issue, which we had a hard time seeing because he just disappeared in this huge cloud of snow because he was so fast.
Here on the replay.
Big double. So
and then he just massively
he sets his backside edge to get rid of the speed and then comes riding out his front side. Now we couldn't really see it there. And that was a very interesting line choice.
Nice double.
Going for the double, having to put a sharp left turn in there on his front side, which is not easy to do in order to make the bottom part of his line.
Finding his entrance and yeah, oh, that looked easy. Wow.
He made it look easy.
He absolutely made it look easy. And riding out of it.
There is Eliot.
Very nice. Happy Eliot.
Yep.
Sweet. Eliot is part of the Nanda Freeride Club. And he's definitely got a really good gang of friends out there to train with.
Yeah, for those not familiar, on one side of the mountain it's Verbi, on the other side is Nanda. Is there a certain rivalry, rivalry, I think it's the proper word?
Not Nanda really, because you know what? Like on powder days, we've got so much to do in Verbier, and the Nandar have so much to do in Nanda that there's definitely enough space for all of us, I reckon.
Okay. I really liked it when I was young and spent a lot of time in the Verbi and all in the Quatre Vallées area, just grabbing your bag and going up with the gondola from Verbi and then taking everything, including a toothbrush, and just moving over the mountain to Nanda and staying there for a couple days and then moving back, rather than taking your car and drive around for almost an hour.
That is much
really
better.
Cool.
Totally. That's how we like the Four Valleys. Definitely.
Exactly. Yeah, so we can only recommend when the final of the Freeride World Tour is on. I think it's the 22nd and 23rd of March this year. Go there and watch it. It's amazing. The freeride vibes in Verbi, especially on the extreme weekend, is just incredible.
Absolutely. There's such an incredible vibe. I mean, the best of the best are there and everybody around them. And it's very, very special to watch. The show on the mountain, you probably see better on TV, but the atmosphere on the mountain is
unique.
just incredible.
It's true. 68, 67 for Eliot. So, yep, that was the control issue at the very top. I'm sure they reviewed it a couple of times to make sure they give the right amount of points or negative points for that. Eliot, next time, stay clean. I want you at the podium.
Absolutely. And we've got, well, this is the last snowboarder of the day from Les Sept-Lots en France, Sacha Balicco. Let's go. Sacha's been doing such a great job those past few years on the qualifiers, on the challengers. Yes, 360ing out of this little rock cat there. No other riders has taken it yet.
Very different approach, going far over to the Lucas left of Kea's right, keeping very fast and fluid. That's already his third air and he's only halfway down the face.
And his second 360. Very nice, playing with everything he finds.
Yeah, and connecting it all at a great speed. Wow. One to go.
Beautiful.
Last air.
grabbing all his other drops. Well, that was a very fast and efficient run for Sacha Balicco today.
Well, probably the fastest run in the snowboarders man category. Wow, super fast. Congratulations, Sacha.
Definitely.
Another difficult one for the judges. So he did not go through the NAR, so for that the line choice might, the line score might go down a little bit, but the speed was extraordinary.
Absolutely. It was definitely more of a backcountry line, and you know what? When you know your style, and you know that this line is gonna fit you, you gotta listen to your heart. If that's what you're meant to do. And apparently, that's definitely what Sacha was meant to do, sending those 2 beautiful 360s.
Yeah, I like the way you put it, like listen to your heart. That's basically what you have to do when you approach a freeride competition. I mean, you still want to look for lines that score well, but you have to go where you feel comfortable, where you want to go.
I mean, I feel like the judges would see if this is not your style. You would be struggling a bit more, and if something really corresponds to you, then it makes a lot of sense. And
but it was the standout on this line was the speed. Like he was at the brink of losing control a couple of times, but he kept it together. Definitely a clean run top bottom and super fast.
He totally did.
So to me, that definitely made up for not going right into the most gnarly parts of the mountain.
Yeah, absolutely.
$75 points, putting Sacha on the podium. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that means we have a final ranking for the snowboard man category of the 2025 Freeride World Tour Challenger by Orage in Silvretta Montafon. Third place with 75 points, Sacha Balicco. Second, for Hugo Serra. And first, Cesar Barin. Just like in the men's skiing category, a triple victory, but this time not for Switzerland, but for France. So the snowboarders making up for the French skiers today. Marc Robert's just behind, and a Japanese rider, Asato, on the 5th place, rounding up the top 5. Wow, what an amazing show by the snowboarders today. They really had to adapt to difficult conditions, not being the first on the mountain today, thus defying multiple tracks and bumpy areas, and some areas that just lacked the snow after solid 30 riders already skiing down. But nevertheless, a great show by the snowboarders today. So, well, we don't have a lot of time to rest, because in a couple of moments we will continue with the ski girls, with Lou Barin from France being our first girl to drop into the face today. Here we have the start list. Bepna Fonti, Lou Barin, a triple pack of French girls starting right away, and also here a super international field from Sweden, from Switzerland, Australia, Austria and Spain. It'll be very interesting to see how the girls will cope with the conditions today. Like we said just before, we have a lot of tracks now in this phase. About 40 riders have gone down already today. It can be an advantage to some extent. The girls had the chance to watch a major part of the men's skier pack ride down, so they know about the snow conditions. They got a good feeling about the size of cliffs, and they could watch the live stream and find out about all the difficulties that were there. So it'll be very interesting to see how the girls will cope with the conditions on the mountain today.
Absolutely, I am very curious to see that some of them had different options, and they wanted to see the man indeed go through before they actually made a choice.
And our first competitor, Lou Barin, she is coached by Kevin Goury, a former Verbier Extreme winner. And I'm sure with all his experience, he will have helped Lou in the hours now before the event to adapt to the challenging conditions of today's challenger on the Zermatt-Spitze.
Absolutely. Lou has been training in Val Thorens. She's got this really strong background in freestyle, and yeah, man, I really wish she could showcase something today. But definitely not the perfect face for sending backies and threes everywhere. Definitely some places. So we'll see if she got inspired out there. And she's, yeah.
Well, I think it was really interesting to see now how this approach of the snowboarders was compared to the one of the skiers, right? A lot more playful and using a lot more options to face. And I think the ski girls are going to go that way as well.
I agree. I can't wait to see new lines as well from the ladies. That would be really, really interesting to see. It's funny how the perception of the mountain can change.
Beautiful view from the drone here. You see the start gate and the finish line at the top. Yeah, seems so short. Seems like you could almost straight line down there. Yeah, but there's glory and tragedy right between the start gate and the finish line. That's what I like the most almost about freeride competitions. It's only 2 gates: start gate and the finish gate. And that's it. There's no red, blue.
And glory and tragedy, like you say.
And it's up to you, right? You can choose what you want to do between those 2 gates, but yeah, it'll end up either way.
Exactly. All right, Lou Barin is on course. Let's go. And she is aiming for the big stuff out there. Yes, lining up the 2 hits. Yes, she's flying out of it. Good job, Lou. Wow. That was fast.
That was very fast. It took her like a solid 100 meters to get rid of that speed, but no confusers. There we go. We talk about freestyle. Beautiful stomps.
Yes, Lauren, she absolutely has it. Thank you.
Elisabeth next to me is super stoked, raising her hands up in the air. Another one. What are you going to see here? Another 3. With slight problems at the landing, but still taking the points with her, flying into the last part of the face and racing to the finish. Beautiful run by Lou Barin. Stay on your feet, please.
All right. Wow. I can't believe it. She cannot either. I can't believe she's just thrown 2 360s on a face that I was mentioning as like a really hard freestyle place. But you know what? No, there are no limits for women skiing today.
There's no limits. And
anything
I love
can happen.
The commentators curse in a positive way.
There she goes with her brother, Cesar, who's just won the previous category. Oh, beautiful.
Wow, the Barin family rocking the Zermatt today. Look at that double and the speed she has. And she has no other choice but to keep on going straight for another 100 meters.
So clean.
But she had such a great game plan that all the speed took her directly to the takeoff of that 360. And that was a solid air.
Absolutely. Really good preparation. Perfect landing. And that's her second. Let's see what happened there.
Yeah.
That's it.
Her left ski lands like on a rock or bush, putting her back seated, but she rides it out quite well.
She does.
Yeah. 78, solid score for bib number 1, Lou Barin.
All right, This is a way to open a category. Well done, Lou. Well, I mean, this is just definitely a way to push the sport because we're going to see more and more of this, I believe.
We do have a lot of girls up here, but this might well be a podium run already.
Well, there's only one way to know. And this is Clemence Philippart getting ready. She is from the Free Ski Academy, Kane, with her troops today. And her coach, Xavier Troubat.
Look at this angle right now at the screen. That's what I meant before. You feel like you can jump down to the finish line.
Definitely.
And it also tells you how steep it is, right? That whole
it tells you how steep it is.
These pictures are amazing.
Absolutely. And the beauty is, that you can really, really do whatever you want between those 2 gates.
Exactly.
This is freedom in competition.
Yeah. I was riding the gondola today with a couple of riders, including Eliot Dänzer, and they said it would be nice to experiment with a couple of different freeride formats, you know, like have 2 riders at the same time in the competition, or have a skier and a snowboarder who do a run each and you combine the scores, things like that. Yeah, I think there's still room for a lot of ideas and development in our sport.
That is a very interesting thought, yes. And well, I mean, this sport is only going to keep evolving, now being part of the FIS. So there's definitely room for thoughts and brainstorming around it, preserving the essence of it and at the same time really pushing the human limits, I guess.
Well, it's 2 years ago. It's been 2 years now that the FIS has bought the rights for Freeride World Tour, and we have seen quite a lot of development, a lot of standards have been set. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago we just found out there's new qualification system, for example, for the Freeride Junior World Championship. So things are evolving.
Exactly, and Clemence Philippart is evolving on the face. Yes.
Same line as Hlous at the top, also arriving at warp speed, but deciding to go skiers left. Wow, that was a very difficult turn.
Wow.
That's going to score really well. It keeps keeping that speed up.
A very powerful turn.
Yeah.
Yes, she knew exactly where she wanted to go. It looks like she had planned all of this.
And throwing out a huge backflip, unfortunately under rotating a little bit, sending her into a big crash, but that one was an outstanding move. Wow.
Oh my God, Clemence, incredible job out there.
That was so determined.
And you're fine, yes.
She is.
Oh my God, I cannot believe the sand that we just seen. This is incredible. What a cliff to be backflipping. There's definitely rock underneath, so you want to make sure that you've got the perfect orientation.
Wow, there was so much determination. The way she entered into the throw of the face, going right into this left turn, it was so risky to, with all that speed, you know, crossing those turns, and she was aiming all the time for this takeoff here. Just laying it out a little bit too much, a bit like Gabriel Bletton, who under-rotated a little bit on his 2 backflips today, but so comfortable with the skis forming a little V. Oh, what a shame. That would have been an amazing run. I'm so stoked that the girls are going for the backflips.
Wow, definitely. And on such a face, I mean, a takeoff like this, which is definitely pointing down, proper step down is so hard. You got to pop everything you have. And that's, definitely what Clemence tried to do. She was probably missing a little bit of air, a slightly bit of pop, but that's definitely something doable. So I'm really stoked seeing her do that. Looks like the ski dude is going for a little recovery. Maybe Clemence has lost a ball or something. Well, the women that are watching the live at the top of this face, because some of them are from their phone, might have a bit of pressure now, because today is a sand day.
Today is the sand day. We saw it in all categories, and it also reflects in the women's 2 outstanding runs from the first 2 girls, including an outstanding crash by Clemence Philippart, attempting a really nice big backflip.
Absolutely. With the Free Ski Academy, they go train on trampolines and on big air. So I feel like she's definitely, she's got this in many ways. But at the same time, well, Clemence has never ridden this phase before, I don't think. And new phase, the snow was, hard to know as well. So definitely a good job on the full sand here.
And you can tell by the sound as he crosses the finish line. Big applause by all the riders. Clemence, you can be really proud. And we hope you don't use ambition and do just the same thing again in the next competition in London in a week or 2.
Exactly. We can't wait to see more of this through all of the challengers.
I believe the women's skiing category has evolved the most over the last 5 to 10 years. Right, from standing in the shadow of the man, they really stepped out and stepped it up, and it's such a pleasure to watch them.
Absolutely.
And another one it's a pleasure to watch is Mila De Le Rue.
All right, with her 19 years old, and Mila has definitely been stepping up the game. She's double backflipping now, so you know what, we can expect anything.
Well, if your father is a triple Freeride World Tour champion, then
1,
that's
2.
step in.
Incredible
Warp speed. I hope she can keep that speed together. Yes, she can. Wow, similar line to Hlous Barin.
She
also
totally
approaching
did.
the same air.
Nice little air.
Looking very stable on her skis. Floaty shifty. Oh no!
Oh, unfortunately, she had so much style in the air out there, but she got caught in one of the bummels in the landing and lost one ski. What a shame.
The same air that took down Clemence Philippart with a backflip also is taking down Mila De Le Rue.
Exactly. So actually, maybe where Clemence front punched is what caught Mila's
Potentially, because she
skis.
looked in perfect control until the moment she hit her landing and then just front punch.
That
Wow,
was such a massive error at the top. This is incredible.
And we have seen a couple of male skiers having major troubles up there.
Absolutely.
But no troubles for Clemence Philippart and Mila De Le Rue. Wow. So
No, the
nice
ladies.
shifty, and it must be a rock or something that stopped her skis right there. I mean,
She's kind of landing a bit front.
Let's watch it one more time. Yeah, maybe a little bit
Very
overly
unfortunate.
centered, so to say. Yeah, to the front.
Very unfortunate.
But she's fine putting on ski number 1.
Climbing
collected
back
ski
up.
number 1, yeah.
All right. Well, very interesting line choice. I feel like she was definitely aiming for a free ride line.
Yeah.
Her plan wasn't to play today. She was here to like showcase big, fast, efficient line.
Big mountain riding, exactly.
And yeah, that's definitely what was going on. We've got some really comfortable seats out there with the riders at the bottom of the finish line. So if you're around, do not hesitate to come over. Flo, can you remind me how you get here?
You take the Grasjochbahn up, and the second gondola, I'm not sure, but it's quite obvious. Yeah, Grasjochbahn up and follow up the second gondola, and as you go up with the second one, with the orange windows, then you'll see the competition venue, the start gate, and the finish arch, which actually has trouble withstanding the wind right now. I hope it's not going to collapse one of our riders as they go through the finish. I just heard the drone pilots discuss the conditions, and they said it's really windy up there, so we have 50 plus kilometers per hour of wind at the start gate right now. So quite challenging for the riders. I think that's also why they moved down to the side of the face to be a bit out of the wind and keep warm.
All right. Yep, that makes sense. The wind is picking up. And we've got our next rider in the start gate. This is Elly Olsson. And we've seen Elly for the past years. She's been showcasing some really good stuff. She actually lives in Engelberg, which is a really good spot for training. She's 26 years old. Oh,
Unfortunately, catching a rock with skis near the very top and tumbling down over the bottom rock, which she wanted to jump as a double. It seems a bit puzzled, but fine nevertheless. Yeah, she's waving her arms. Yeah, Engelberg being one of the major freeride expat communities with a lot of Swedes spending their seasons there, and it also in a very high level of freeriding, like a little Verbier.
that's right. Engelberg has definitely attracted a lot of people recently. And yeah, Elly's getting back to grab her ball out there.
Yeah, she still has her skis on her feet, so technically this is all still part of her run.
Yeah.
So she's also going to get a score, but obviously with
But knowing
this
that you
match issue, it's not going to be a
lose-
winning score anymore.
you lose 1 point per second that you're stopped.
We haven't really
Then.
seen any riders having problems so far up on the mountain today. It was pretty much right below the start gate where the trouble started.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the snowboarders on the left, double, had a few trouble, but yeah, that's oh yeah, so early at the very top. Yeah, right. That's unfortunate. All right. Well, Elly taking it easy. She knows she's taking a big fall, so she just needs to make it down.
Yeah, mentally this is brutal. Like when you, especially if you have a series of events like the Challenge Series with 6 competitions, and you have a crash like this, the next time you stand in the start gate, it's really hard not to think about that, because it's somewhere there in the back of your mind that you don't want to crash again. You might have had a lot of great freeride days in between, but it's still competition mode again, and you know the last time I went through the start gate, I crashed, and it's really a mental game to get rid of that.
There's no way you want to crash twice in a row. That is for sure. But you definitely gotta make it up. Not putting too much pressure on yourself, and yeah, just starting over again, I guess. All right. Well, too bad,
So
Elly. We really wanted to see what your plan was. Okay.
It seemed like she wanted to ride it as a double, but with a turn in between. And it looked like she over-rotated on that turn and then was sent over
Exactly.
the cliff. Yeah.
So
Luckily the cliff, there's nothing sticking out at that cliff, so she kind of slides over it and right into the powder field at the bottom.
that's right. So when we think about it and what we've seen for the past few ladies rider, the three first one took the double as a pure straight, which made them go out of the double like full speed.
Yep.
So you want to know yourself enough that you can manage this full speed situation afterwards. If you feel like you need to make a little turn or adapt your speed in the middle, that's totally fine. But a double is a risky part.
True, but I was...
It's a no full zone in between, basically.
It's true, yeah. But I was amazed at how the girls managed the speed riding out of the double. That was
I'm mind
absolutely
blown.
high level.
I am mind blown. They've got such strong legs.
When I ski, that's always when I'm very scared, because as a snowboarder, you can always get rid of your speed. The skis, it's a lot more difficult.
Yeah, Eva Battolla is
Wow.
dropping in the
Juicy.
Swiss
Almost
rider,
same line.
aiming straight out of it. Yes, see the
Very
speed.
smart, very controlled.
Really strong riding. All of those turns perfectly managed.
Wow.
Yes.
Beautifully connecting turns and right into the next one. Oh,
Yeah,
bit of
she's
a-
looking
bit of a
for an
stop, but
entrance. All right,
finding
and
it and
1,
doubling
2.
out of the face. Beautiful bottom part.
Woohoo!
Whoa.
Flying on that way out. Beautiful run from Eva. Yes.
I was worried about her for a moment there being a little backseated as she enters the lower part of the face, but she managed to
did-
get her control back.
She did fly a little bit out.
She looks a bit bummed out, but she had this little stop before the bottom part of her face, but I think it was still a nice run.
She did indeed.
It was not a control issue really, she just stopped.
I think she was really blind and wanted to make sure of where she was going, because you don't want to mess up. There's
I mean, it's a massive move up there, the double, and that's the double at the end.
exactly, you want to see the entrance of the double, which was really well done. You don't want to jump on the
No, exactly. So
on
you
the
want
side
to
out
get
there.
rid of the speed and have a quick look.
And this is the
to make
first
sure
time
you
that
go
we
the right
see
way.
this line happen today. Very, very cool.
Eva Battolla loves the Montgelé in Verbier.
Absolutely, yeah.
Does it still have the very old Godola, the small one? Or did they have a built-in
70
Godola?
points.
Wow, second place for Eva Battolla.
Absolutely. So this is a podium day for Eva until now, as we expect. The next rider, this is Zanna Farrell from Australia, all the way from Australia, 25 years old. Zanna is pumped. She's really stoked to be here in the Alps, and yeah, I think she was excited to compete this morning. All right, man, she's doing it too.
Wow.
Double.
Can she keep it together? No, that was too big. Airbag opening, skis ejecting, a big crash by Zanna Farrell. But it was a big move too. She took the double bigger than I think anyone before.
It was definitely taken from the top.
Wow.
And well, yeah, there's definitely no room for error out there. She looked like she was... So when you land between the two jumps, you really want to keep your perfect balance,
Yes.
because that's going to determine the way you're going to come out of your double. Is Zanna all right? Yeah, she looks like she's moving. And unfortunately, she looked like maybe she had a little issue on that middle part, because when she landed, she was already out of control. And yeah, which is really unfortunate. It's so hard to have it exactly right out there.
Well, she's only in her third season as a competitive freerider, but last year she did not less than 14 competitions. Yeah, winning a couple like the Nanda 4-star qualifier, Shimbuyak Freeride Week 3-star, etc., etc. So she gained all the experience that you need to be a professional freerider very, very quickly.
That's right. She definitely has put in the effort.
But you have to, right? I mean, competition riding is free riding, but it's not. You know what I mean, right? It's hang out with your friends, you know, you can be the most amazing free rider, but being in the start gate then and having to show in this 30 to 60 seconds all your performance, not being able to stop and check out any takeoff or something while you're riding. Here we are at the replay again. Yeah, she was really backseated at that in-between landing and even more backseated at the very top, so there was not really a way she was going to be able to stick that. But the determination to turn into the fall line and just go for it, wow, Zanna, big props for it. Yeah, Australia's proud of you.
Definitely. And so are we.
It's definitely going to make the highlight reel off today.
Yay, totally. Yeah. Very, very good send. Congrats. All right. Well, that's interesting. I feel like the women just got really pumped about this side of the mountain. They know that the very right side big boulder has been tracked out. And I feel like they were expecting that this double would bring them at least as many points, and have kind of a cleaner landing, which it has had for the beginning, at least for the 3 first runs.
Next to the start gate, oh, that's a girl that takes my heart with her as she enters the start gate. Ulla Gio, part of the Freeride Academy, one of our coaching, spending a lot of days in winter with the kids. And also instructing instructors to become instructors.
Oh, wow.
One of the best skiers I know technically, and she's always so stressed out in the start gate, so I really hope she has a good start. We'll leave her a bit chilled out the rest of the run.
Very impressive start, actually.
Oh, and less impressive exit.
Oh, she did get taken down by one of those bumhole that the snowboarders made, I think. But man, it was so cool to see her come in and then turn around, drop that second massive cliff.
Yeah, and she does continue her run. It was
Absolutely.
definitely a major crash, but she said, okay, boom, put that goggle in position and let's keep going.
And there's many more jumps to be had. Yeah, she is aiming for the double maybe at there. And coming through the rocks, yes.
Yeah, really hard to get back or keep your focus right after such a big mistake. Actually amazed she did keep on riding her line. Oh,
totally.
She's grumpy.
I mean, it was, she's still definitely showing some really, really expert level of skiing out there. And there's some things that you can manage, some things that you can't.
Let's have a look where she rides into the Nar. Everything fine until the takeoff. Yeah, a little bit backseated, and as you said, some snowboarders that had gone there left some deep holes in the snow. Now it's 2 or 3 hours ago, so the snow probably has hardened a bit around those tracks as well. But big props for Ulla for continuing her run, which is really difficult mentally after mistake at the top. Wow, so we haven't had a lot of flawless runs. We have 8 girls. Sorry, we have 7 girls down, but we only have like 2 more or less mistake-free runs. We have Lou Barin with 78 points, ahead of Eva Battolla 70, and Ulla Gio with this run actually sits in 3rd right now with 36 points. So there's a lot of room for the next 6 girls to position themselves at or near the podium.
With in the gate, getting ready. Oh, we are going back to Spain, and this is Elisabet Marina. Elisabet's been training all of her childhood doing gymnastics, and you can tell she is such a strong skier with this ability to send her body in all the possible ways in the air. I can't wait to see her run. Okay, let's go, Ellie. Yes.
New approach, going all the way to
first
skier's ride.
Nice.
Wow, nice big drop. 2 big mountain styles, sending all that stuff over the cliff.
Absolutely. Getting her left ski a little caught, but she keeps coming.
That's the freestyle moves you were talking about.
Yes.
Being able to ski on 1 ski just as good as others do on 2 skis.
Exactly. She keeps a really, really nice flow.
Marina. Yeah, really. I really liked the run.
And a big drop at the bottom as well. All right, coming in.
4 nice drops in the big air into the lower part of the face.
Yay! Elisabet Marina coming in full speed into the start gate. That was really flowy.
Very strong riding, and I really like the whole approach, that she chose her line, sticking to that far skiers right, not going through the middle where we had so many people struggle today with control issues, and still finding 4 big jumps, 4 big cliff drops and a jump at the bottom. So I think the judge is going to reward it a lot.
Exactly. So here's the first jump. She's definitely been summing points. That's the second. Aiming for her. That's the second again. Aiming for the third. On the side. Yeah, trying to avoid all of the bum holes. And the bottom one, so that is 4 hits. And it's 66 points for Elly Marina. Alright, so that brings you to the 3rd place. Muy bien, amita. Perfecto.
Bien hecho.
Very cool. We've got such a hyped crowd out there in Spain, and yeah, it's really nice to see.
Zoe Delzoppo, a girl I've been meeting for many years since she competed the first time at the Freeride World Tour Juniors. We did some coaching classes together already back then.
Alright, she's aiming for the double, it looks like.
Oh,
yes,
entering.
And
Wow.
coming straight out of it. Very strong riding. She took it from.
I don't think we've seen
very
anyone
high.
taking it at this angle. Wow, looks like he's one of the male skiers, just as fast and just as aggressive in the riding, and the same cliffs. Already at the big exit there where we saw some backflip action. Goes straight and stomps it.
What is going on? Zoe is just taking, yeah.
And looks like she's not even done yet, still looking for something. Woo!
All right, yes, hopping down those rocks. Maybe she was hoping to fly a little bit out there.
But I was hoping for her not to fly over it because I think there's a lot of sugar snow right all around those rocks, which are just waiting to tear your skis right off.
Absolutely. So, oh wow, that was clean. It was really nice to see her. I love the way that she hopped in the couloir in this exposed section, and there's no way she was going to get out of this without jumping, which she did really well.
Zoe Delzoppo.
That was pure free ride again, and yeah, I believe this cleanliness from the French lady might pay off.
Wow, absolutely amazing entry. I mean, that's gonna push her score very high up.
Yeah, especially because it's different from the other ones.
It's different, it's creative, and she was so stable all the way through it.
Nice landing out there at the bottom. Yes, Zoe's definitely in for some good score out there.
Well, she needs 66 points to push Elisabet Marina from the 3rd place, and she needs 78 to push Lou Barin from the 1st place. I'm really stoked to see that the girls are skiing so well despite the definitely more difficult conditions than it would have been in the morning, right?
Man, I am amazed. It's always hard to choose which categories should start and which should end, and yeah, it's really hard to not have the choice. But indeed, you're right. They're adapting very well to the situation, and I feel like, for example, Elisabet Marina definitely had an option on the biggest cliff. She is a really big cliff jumper, and she would have probably liked to go to the top Lucas right. But then, from experience, looking at the landings, knowing what the others have done, this is a 2nd place from Zoe with 72 points. Yeah, definitely a podium line. Or at least for now.
You said the right thing. Playing it smart is what you said in the beginning, what it's going to be all about for his ski goals, and you kind of see that it pays off to maybe not go too crazy, but just within your limit.
Et c'est parti pour Kelly Berton qui s'élance dans la face.
The free ski Belleville. Holy shit.
Doubling, she almost had it. That was so close. Oh, this is so unfortunate. Kelly, I feel, was in the right position. Yeah. The Val Thorens rider, she ended up first at the first event in La Rosière, and yeah, she definitely was pumped. She
Looked
did
like she
not
had
have
her
one
weight-
doubt.
Yeah, looked like her weight was a little bit too much on the right side, on her right ski. Maybe that second takeoff not coming quite perfectly balanced, and it's brutal. If you're not perfectly balanced, like we have seen a couple of riders ride this double out spectacularly, but we have seen a lot of riders
Absolutely.
not being able to hold it together.
The slope, the counter slope on the side,
Yep.
plus the tracks. I mean, if you were to land on a beautiful virgin powder face, you would have a little bit of space for forgiveness.
Yeah.
This is not a forgiving situation. We're on
No, it's not.
hardcore conditions right now on the Zermattspitze.
Yeah, looking at it, the whole mountain, I think, oh, there's still a lot of powder left, but obviously those features where the riders like to go because they know that they score, they have been hit heavily, and so it gets harder and harder to ride out of those features. So Lou Barin still in the lead with 78 points. Zoe Delzoppo from the run just before 72.33, and Eva Battolla holding on to third place very strong with a clean 70 points.
Exactly. Kelly Berton was definitely in the mood to catch that podium as well. She is a homie. She comes from Val Thorens, just like Lou Barin. They're training together as well.
Well, they all are. The way all of the girls have dropped into that upper part of the face, you know, they all deserve a podium for me. It's so daunting. You get out of start gate, you traverse 5 meters, you do this one turn, and then phew, it's only acceleration and steepness.
Absolutely. Yeah, I really wonder what she had in mind for the bottom, because Kelly loves backflipping. So yeah, I'm I already cannot wait for the next challengers to see what the level is at there.
Well, she has a first place in her pocket that she sits on from the first challenger, so she can easily throw away this result today and focus on the next event, and still she won't have to be stressed out about the next result.
Exactly. We've got Mia McNabb getting ready in the start gate. Another rider from the Free Ski Academy from Les Arcs.
She's actually from Chamonix, isn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. So she's moved out there because the crew's so fun. And
so, Mia, all the best for you, and stay on your feet. That double.
All right, from the very top.
The kids, the girls like nothing else. Whoa, gets compressed, but manages to stand back up, still at full speed, and then it was too much speed. Ouch, there was a big
that was
fall by
unfortunate.
Mia.
She came in so fast.
I'm very happy to see Mia wave her arms, because that was a very spectacular crash. It seemed like she wanted to take the speed from the landing of the double all the way to the next air, but then right before takeoff lost control and basically fell over her next cliff rather than jumping it in a controlled manner. And she waved her arms saying she's okay, but at the same time you can tell, yeah, she is bruised by what just happened.
Definitely. Yeah, she looks really bummed. Man, she was coming in with so much speed. That was crazy. I think she's gathering her thoughts.
Well, head of safety Markus Kogler already sent his ski route to her, but she just got up and keeps riding.
What is very good news. She might have lost a pole anyway, so I feel like this ski dude will be very welcome to grab the pole.
The girls today, they impress me more and more. I mean, after a crash like this, you don't typically just get up and keep riding. Like, you sit down for a minute and get your things together. But she's just on her way to the finish line already. So let's check one more time what happened. Warp speed. And that's where I was really worried for a second, because that cliff she fell over kind of sticks out a little bit.
Absolutely, you do Oof.
And when she
Yeah.
first
Didn't
came
move.
to a stop, I was definitely worried.
Yeah, she wasn't moving much.
Well, in line with the many spectacular crashes we have seen today on the Zermatt-Spitze. Mia doesn't look very puzzled. I'm so amazed. Let me sit down, take a rest, you know, check your body top to bottom, and make sure you're fine.
Exactly. It is such a bummer. And sometimes when you come out with so much speed, you want to aim towards your next feature, and you that's the only thing you've got in mind. But you really gotta deal with that amount of stoked and the amount of speed out there. All right, we've got Chisato Sasada getting ready.
Two more
in the
girls
start
up
gate.
at the start gate in the women's ski category of this 2025 Freeride World Tour Challenger by Orage and Silvretta Montafon at the beautiful Zermatt-Spitze that has proved once again as a very challenging freeride venue.
Oh yeah.
It's our third category. We have two more girls to go before the last category, which is going to be snowboard girls.
Exactly. So Chisato actually comes from Japan, but she lives in Innsbruck right now. I think she got hooked on Tyrol.
Well, you know, Innsbruck has 60 ski resorts within 60 minutes of driving and 30,000 students, and the rumor goes that about 29,000 of those are only there for skiing, snowboarding, paragliding, hang gliding, climbing, downhill biking,
Stop it, Flo!
and whatever there is to be done. And
I'm moving!
combining the mountains around with the social life which is in the city, so it is simply very attractive
Yes.
for young and sporty people.
Sold. That
Yeah.
sounds absolutely amazing. It looks like
Yeah.
you're just making friends,
But
every day out there.
You do, and it's home to multiple world champions, Valle Reiner, Manu Mandl, Ali Bock, Mitch Tolleran, snowboard, Max Hitzig, so they all get
That's
together
right.
at Innsbruck and live and ski and party. So it is a really
It's a champion
social
maker.
sport hub. Yeah, which is funny because there's no, like, you can't ride all the way to downtown Innsbruck, so you have to drive your car to a ski resort, even if it's just 5 minutes to the
Right.
closest one. But it's a bit more like a surf town. Like, depending where the snow comes from, that's where we go. If the snow comes from the south, we go towards Italy. If it comes from the west, we go to Kappel, Sol, St. Anton. If it comes from the east, we go to Fieberbrunn or the Zillertal. If it comes from north, we go to the famous Nordkette. So you just, you know, always
You
go and
adapt.
find the best snow. Yeah. So it's not one big resort like in Verbier where everyone rides the same mountain, but it spreads out over many, many mountains. And then, but everyone lives at the same place, city. Everyone comes there together to party, and I think that's what makes it so special.
Sounds pretty good. I will keep that in mind for my next powder chasing
Yeah,
adventure.
You're very welcome. But be aware that the free beds in the many student apartments, they fill up quickly in November and December.
I bet there's many coaches available anyway.
Yeah, there is.
It's incredible the view we've got from the top here.
All right, Chisato Sasada representing Japan is dropping in. A new air all the way to that skier's right side.
Yes.
Wow, that's a big air. Oh, front punching at the landing and giving away his ski.
Oh, very unfortunate. What a nice drop. We haven't seen that many people. I think
But
only
look-
Elisabet Marina.
But look at the landing. You can see it in the upper part of the picture. The black stripe right in the middle, that's her landing. So she actually landed fully on rocks.
Fully on rock with
And
sugar
then
on
obviously-
top.
Exactly. And then probably the tails of his skis could not sink in because of that rock, but the front did sink in, and that's why she front
Yeah,
punched
that
right
is
away.
really tough. We're not we're not always ready to land on rock. Elisabeth did a pretty good job. She took it a little bit smaller on the side. It looks like Chisato took it a little further, and then the slope kind of becomes a little flatter, which might have made her frog punch.
So we really saw a lot of boys and girls being taken down today by this sugary snow in the landings, because basically they're falling through the snow onto rocks, and depending how you touch it with the nose or the tail of your skis, it sends you into a tumble very quickly.
It does. There's definitely an interest in in having seen the face before the last snowfall.
But what is amazing today, we have seen 12 girls riding today, and we've seen 8 girls crash. But it's not because they did ski well, it's because they were all going 100% and did super amazing and strong lines, but were taken down by the super challenging conditions.
I agree, absolutely. This face is really unforgiving today, and for
Unforgiving
for
is the
both
right-
men
the right
and
word for it.
women. Yeah, it's definitely been a challenge.
All right. Well, Chisato Sasada is grabbing her skis and starting to go down. We are preparing for the last girl in the ski woman category. It's going to be Colleen Pernet. Is it Pernet or Pernet? Pernet, I suppose, from Switzerland.
Yeah, absolutely. Although Colleen's pretty English named, so I guess you can play on it as you want. Colleen is definitely seen in Verbier, and it's really fun to see her ride. On the comps and off the comps. Definitely a sender.
It's only her second comp of the season. She has 11th place from the Bonneval Challenger, and she had a crash at the peak performance qualifier 2-star at Freeride. So definitely ready for a good result. Talk about that pressure that we spoke about before, right? When you come to a contest, you had one or two or more not so good results or crashes, and you're in that start gate. Wow, I don't want to swap.
It's quite crazy.
There she goes. Good luck, Colleen. Make this a clean run.
All right. And she is coming to the lookers left of this face.
Exactly same line as
Chisato.
Chisato so far. Same, yeah, and unfortunately the same troubles in the landing. Almost hitting the exact rock.
Did you see
the landing?
How she opened her feet when she looked at she was not going to land in this in the right spot?
We have seen it in the ski man category a couple times today, that rocks were exposed by one rider. The next rider came onto the same landing and had to spread legs in order to avoid rocks. But unfortunately, even though she put the skis down to the left and to right, she also touched rocks, and that threw her off balance. Wow. And since she was a last year girl, that event's going to go down in history with only 3 girls being over 70 points. But once again, it's not because they didn't charge, it is because they did charge.
Yeah, totally.
I just want to make sure anyone who looks at this course today knows what happened. Yeah.
No, the girls were definitely going big today. They have been, and the ones that chose other options made like very, very good choices, because I mean you have no choice to adapt.
But we said it before, and while they were riding, adapting to the conditions today, especially for the ski girls, is crucial. And overall, what do we say? Maybe should they all have, pulled back by 10%, or did they do the right thing to go for it?
Well, that's a
difficult one.
That's a question everybody needs to ask himself. There is a strategy where this is only the second challenger, so you might want to not play. Oh, that's the hit. Yeah, she kind of got deviated on the right side and hit a rock afterwards.
I think it's a really difficult one to find and to hit as well, because it rolls. No very defined takeoff.
That is such a bummer for Colleen. Yeah, as she still keeps the score. She makes the 6th place.
Points. That means we have a final result for the ski women division on the 2025 Freeride World Tour Challenger by Orage in Silvretta Montafon.
Absolutely. And this is Lou Barin taking the win. She keeps it.
The family going home with 2 victories today. Cesar in the snowboard boys, and Lou in the ski girls. Mom and Dad are going to be stoked.
Definitely. Zoe Delzoppo following very close by Eva Battolla, was an absolute sender run.
And we have only given away medals so far to French and Swiss riders today.
Exactly.
3 Swiss male skiers, 3 French male snowboarders, and also the podium in the skier girls split up between France and Switzerland uniquely.
Absolutely. Very, very few runs that were able to actually get points out there. This is an interesting comp. I'm really stoked for this top 3 rider has definitely showcased an incredible performance today.
So we have another 8 riders at the top. It's the complete snowboard girls category, and we can't wait to see their show, even though conditions are really challenging right now on the Zermatt-Spitze.
Absolutely. And yes, all the snowboarders we're really excited. I hope they stayed really excited during the beginning of this competition. Some of them have been riding in the meantime. Some of them just took a late start this morning because they did not want to feel the pressure of the competition environment. That's something that you can do, or they've just been watching their friends and cheering them up at the finish line. Many options for the snowboarders. And so the first rider that's going to drop in is Lou Russe from France. She is 30 years old, from Teen, and she is part of the Free Ski Academy. All right, she was really pumped to come here. Traveling with friends is just always so much fun, and exploring new places, just coming to new countries, new mountains. That's definitely something you cannot say no to. So we've got Lou out there in the start gate. Yes, Lou dropping in. Well, it looks like she is aiming for the central part. Picking her line, making it
I wonder
nicely.
if the snowboard girls watch the skier girls and say, well, we're gonna, take this a little bit more
All right, there's no
easy
more
today.
choice for Lou. She's gonna have to drop this cliff, and it's huge. If you look at her right now, yes. All right, unfortunately, she was a little bit.
I really like the approach. She went all the way to skier's left when no other people jumped before, so that the landing was fresh, but a little bit too much momentum towards her front foot, and
Exactly.
that sent into a
There
tumble.
definitely was no proper takeoff out there. You had to ollie it, which was really technical, but no problem for Lou. There she goes, back on track, and she's having fun in the middle, taking some little hits, and she's like in a little canyon. There's nothing like little canyons on a snowboard, it looks like.
Exactly. Well, definitely the most challenging conditions now for the snowboarders. As we said before, snowboarding is made for powder, and we have a solid 50 plus tracks on the mountain today. And the first tracks are now a couple hours old, so they're starting to get a little hard as well. So really difficult to make it look easy and smooth on a snowboard right now.
Definitely. It looks like Lou, it looks like she got kind of bombed out there at the top, because the rest of her riding was not Lou.
But
Lou's oh yeah, what a bummer. So after this, she just thought that was the end. So she just literally took it very easy down. All right, well, she was going for some real free ride out there.
Yeah. But really smart approach, the way she chose to ride into Nar and then go all the way to left. The corner was well thought.
Exactly.
Yeah, just unfortunately that didn't work out the way she had planned.
Well, actually, it's quite funny because she told me her favorite trick was the tumble trick. And that's it. That was a really nice tumble performance, Lou. Thank you very much for confirming that this is your favorite. Although I have seen you shredding, and man, this is something else. She
sits on the third place from the first challenger, so she still can go all in on the next one. Giulia Bottazzin. Yeah.
All right. This is the Italian rider getting ready on top. Giulia, she's been around for a little while, and
she just won a couple 3-star qualifier 3 weeks ago, so she's basically on a roll, right? That's the opposite. When you won the last competition and you're back in the start gate, then you're just so confident.
It looks like she's aiming for her first drop. Nice.
Nice, gets the grab in.
Beautiful jump. Just
not easy to slow down in the chunky snow. Especially when you're on the front side.
Coming in around the rocks, just playing with the features.
Yeah.
All right, going through the sun. Yes, beautiful hit.
Really nice approach as well. Like no hesitation, no stopping before it. Right from the last turn, right into the air.
And that's a big
Same again.
hit.
Nice.
Out there at the bottom, avoiding all of the rocks in the landing. This is really, really nice riding from Giulia out there.
It is.
Yes, getting white roamed.
Whoa!
Wow.
Slides at 360.
Exactly, but just like, yeah, keeping it going. There's no stop for Giulia. Nice. Very, very well.
Yeah, I think she's a little angry at herself for the little wobble at the bottom. We didn't really see what happened there. She disappeared in this cloud and came out like riding fakie. No switch.
Yeah, exactly.
But kept turning.
I think...
a full 360, I think. And
but I mean...
managed to stay on her feet.
Oh, look at this beautiful grab up top. All right. Second grab and then...
It's not easy
Nice.
with the riding in the sun, right? And then jumping down into the shady parts of the face. You don't really see what landing looks like.
Absolutely. 58 points for Giulia. Very nice. Well, interesting. So we've seen riders right, we've seen riders left. And it looks like snowboarders are definitely in the mood for all of those options. Let's see what Celina Weber from Germany has in store for us.
She actually comes from a place called Nuremberg in Germany. Learned to snowboard in Austria, in Obertauern, and now lives in Villeneuve, Switzerland, at the beautiful Lac de Genève. Wow, riding to the Nar all the way to the skier. So in this case, the borders left. This looks like on the back to Ross.
Absolutely. She's right above so much exposure. Celina has no choice but jumping this massive
Is she really
cliff.
lining up this big cliff? She is!
Yes!
Wow! A mix of jump and riding gully. Spectacular top part.
Wow, she did land
by
it. It
Celina
was
Weber.
hard to break, so she just decided to break fully.
Yeah.
Make sure that she recovers
It
from
is-
the speed.
There's nothing harder than slowing down on a snowboard in a bumpy and tracked out area.
Nice jump into the Nar.
Super nice.
Yeah, she is
No stopping,
almost
hesitation.
all right, and she's going for the last one. And a jump out of this very special place out there. Well, considering how steep it is, this is a very well managed riding for Celina.
It is, but you can see it in almost every turn. As soon as he gets a little faster, setting those turns in those around those old tracks is really challenging. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Have I mentioned today that snowboards were made for powder?
Indeed, but you know what? I believe that Celina knows how to deal with a snowboard in any situation.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's really strong. You really want to make sure that you stay in control, and indeed, it's really a balance between braking and sliding all the way.
That was-
Beautiful hit at the
That
top.
was spectacular. Lands it really clean too. And I think it's like at the end of that turn, if you want to get rid of your speed, since you had a bit of a control issue. That middle part was also super nice. The way she came in, yeah, doing those quick turns.
That was
I mean,
really
this
cool.
is so much exposure. Like if you fall here, you go right over the next cliff band.
No, exactly. There's no choice out there with a really the way out was really nice too. It takes a lot for women to decide, like for riders in general, to decide that where you're gonna go.
True. Like many others in the freeride snowboard community supporting POW, they Protect Our Winters project, started by Jeremy Jones, famous US snowboarder, helping to approach the challenges that come with climate change.
Well, I am 52. This is a second place for Celina.
And the judges are ready for bib number 4 in the women's category. It's Dora Quentz from France.
Indeed, with 23 years old.
Quentz is not a very typical French name, is it?
No. You're right. She might have some secrets,
Well,
some insights.
she finished second a month ago at the Engest in Snow 4-star qualifier, so has
Wow.
this podium on her feet. Look at this footage. Holy
Wow,
moly.
just like she just decided she was gonna go that way, and just like a mountain
Yes.
goat, she
Wow.
is just scrambling down, having, all of the slough follow her. Yeah. Turning just in order to be in the right side.
Wow, same area as
Celina.
Celina just before.
And she is coming out.
Deciding to ride out rather than to jump, which has the advantage that she's a lot slower and has an easier time staying in control.
Absolutely. She's definitely uncovered a lot of rocks out there.
Staying in the same line. Yeah, you see the wind blowing with the snow.
Yeah, totally. She is aiming, yes, for this gnarly part as well. Being her way. Yeah, carefully choosing where she's going. This is some steep riding. Dora likes some steep riding, it looks like, and she's coming out pretty nicely.
Wow, so it's going to be really interesting. Exactly the same line as Celina. Definitely a lot slower, but more controlled at the same time. Not really having any control issues.
Yeah, I wonder what the judges are going to think about this flow.
That's going to be a really tough one. I'm sure they'll have a quick discussion on it, because that's always very hard to compare.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely two types of riding.
Dora Quenz, I loved that upper part though. That looked so spectacular. I mean, that's all a big no-fall zone, and those pictures are going to look awesome.
Totally. It's really funny to see that some riders are here to play and some riders are here to fight. Because this type of line is definitely like some real negotiation with the terrain. You let me go, I try to go. It's definitely something hardcore. All right, well, Dora looks pretty stoked. She's happy she's made it to the bottom, and it's 44 points for her. All right, well, that's interesting. I guess so it's bringing her to the third place right after Celina, and I guess they have liked the commitment that Celina had in anything.
I think so too, yeah.
She did, and so that's probably what they want to push.
The trick is something the judges always ask for. They want commitment. They want you to go as fast as you can and go strong.
They do. If you know you can do it.
Yeah.
So you need, you definitely need to manage this. All right, Tiffany Perrotin, World Tour champion on course. Let's see, and she is aiming towards the rider's right. All right, first little hit. Nice. With a first jump lined up at the top of the face. She's staying, she is enjoying the powder on the right side out there.
Wow, yeah, 2022, she had an amazing run. She won the Freeride World Tour in Fierbon, in Ordino Carlos, had 2 more podiums in Paquera and the very big stream, so it was a very clear Freeride World Tour champion.
Another third hit at there. Yeah, Tiffany's like in for the fun. This is what I we're thinking of when saying some riders are here to play. And Tiffany's definitely a playful rider. She totally dials her 360s and her backflips.
Nice backside air. First ride of the day, we see that far over to the locals left. So
absolutely.
There is some fresh snow still, and she makes the most of it in those long spraying turns.
Opening up a virgin slope. Yes, hammering it down. Really nice hit at the bottom.
Super creative line choice, given the fact that she's one of the last riders of the day. Going to an area that still has fresh snow is definitely a smart choice.
Yeah. All right, very interesting. We've seen Tiffany in the steepest bits on the Bec des Roses, on many faces, and today she has chosen to play, and I believe this choice definitely is the consequences of experience, because she knew what to expect. She's in for the fun. Tiffany's in for the good snow. So she's just decided that she wanted to go for the fun side of things, and she's had so many hits that I feel like the judges could have liked it.
And Giulia Bottazzin sits in first place with a score of 58 points. So there is a lot of room towards the top. Let's see what the judges make of Tiffany Perrotin's flawless and mistakeless, most of all, line.
Definitely. Tiffany was trying to escape, but no. She's coming back. We don't know if you're not taking the couch, Tiff.
He is staying in front of this wall.
You stay around. That's interesting. 70 points for Tiffany. Wow, Flo, this is unbelievable.
This is a new leader, and a leader by 12 points ahead of Giulia Bottazzin, pushing Dora Quence off the podium. So Tiffany Pertin ahead of Giulia Bottazzin, and Celina Weber is up her podium right now. But 3 more girls are up in the start gate in the female snowboard category at this 2025 Freeride World Tour Challenger by Orage in Silvretta Montafon. 3 more riders today, the mountain. And the first one is another Innsbruck local, Sarah Bacher.
Oh yeah.
And Sarah has a hard time. She is on the painkillers because she had a big crash not too long ago, hurting her front foot. So she said she really hopes for powder. So we can always see she's looking for the good snow,
Yes.
where she doesn't feel the pain in her left foot too much.
Nice little drop. And she is on the powder side, or at least
Yeah,
the less
exactly.
tricky one. Hopefully it doesn't hurt so much and she's able to really put down something nice. Yeah, Sarah's enjoying her turns out there.
Exactly.
Coming in the sun. Beautiful drop.
Nice and clean. I always like it when someone approaches a cliff, without hesitation, without stopping before, without sliding around. Just do that last turn and then aim for the takeoff and go for it.
And she keeps going. Yes, another one. Well, it's a very nice and flowy ride.
Exactly. One more air to have had here. Jack the speed and then aim right for the finish.
Very nice. One more air. So that is quite a good bunch of air. She definitely stayed into more frequented zones. There were more tracks out there.
So our line choice is not going to go through the roof, staying in the more melodrama, but we saw with the score of Tiffany Pertin, this can score well as well. And not to forget, it was a clean run. So
Exactly. It should very much score points. It's interesting. I feel like the 70 points that Tiffany just scored before are, indeed justified by this new line choice. Like, judges love seeing something they haven't seen before.
Well, you mustn't forget, Giulia and Celina went into more challenging terrain, but they had their control issues, and Tiffany's run was clean, just like Sarah's was now.
Exactly. And that's what the judges want to say. 66,
Second place
Sarah.
for Sarah. Wow.
Jumping on the second place of the podium.
Will she be able to hold on to the podium, because we have another 2 riders up there, and the next one has probably the most experience of anyone maybe on the mountain today.
Absolutely.
Mila Holst is 36 years old, and I think she's been doing competitions for something like 25 years.
15 as she says, but yeah. Pretty much the same, yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, Michaela. Oh yeah, and she's going for the writer's right as well.
Same as Tiffany and Sarah, yeah. Originally from Australia, Norway, but riding a lot in Austria and the Alberg region. St. Anton, Lechters, Stuben, etc.
Nice hit with a beautiful grab.
It's funny that area St. Anton is like the equivalent to Verbier, like 110 lifts, a huge freeride mecca, but it doesn't really have the freeride scene the way Verbier does.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know why. All right, yeah, Michaela is definitely having fun out there in the podium.
Very similar actually to the run of Sarah Bacher.
Right? Yeah, taking that last cliff on to the other side, adding a little hop out there in the middle.
Yeah, similar speed run. Even though I think Sarah might have taken one cliff more in the middle part. So that's definitely what the judges are going to do now, to compare Michaela's and Sarah's run and see who gets the edge there.
Yeah, definitely. All right, interesting. Very nice run from Michaela Olsson. Yeah.
We're not even used to clean runs anymore today, right? So many riders today went for it and got punishment.
Yeah.
Big crashes, so it's almost awkward to see a clean run.
Yeah. It's awkward. It is very pleasurable though. We're so happy when riders are not putting their heads into the snow. And that was definitely Michaela's plan today. Stay on her feet, just like showing us how it's done. All right. Well, she's probably quite stoked. She looks like she's got this very nice smile on her face, expecting the results. And well, we're getting closer to know our podium now because there's only one rider left. And this will be it. We've been so lucky today with the sun shining, the light being...
Oh yeah, when we came up in the morning, it was this high gray from the Föhn. There was flat light so the contest had to be postponed even, but now it's perfect sunshine. Not so much in the face anymore, but it's important. We need north faces for powdery conditions for freeride contests.
Definitely, we're happy to keep some shade in the North Faces, that is for sure. Michaela Holsten hopping on the podium, third place with 61 points.
Oh, and as much as I'm hoping for her to stay in the podium as well, I'm pretty stoked because it means Austria will score a podium today.
Yep, yep.
But first of all, let's focus on the very last ride of today, representing Australia currently on 6th place in the Challenger ranking, 29 years of age, is Bryony Johnson from Australia.
All right, yeah. Bryony, she lives in Victoria. She's definitely been riding Mount Hotham.
She didn't give us a home mountain like within the Alps. I know she spends a lot of time here. Do you know where she usually rides?
I don't know.
I have seen it in Innsbruck a couple of times, but I'm not sure where she is. So, last rider of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Please watch with us Bryony Johnson and the fight for a gold medal in the snowboard women category. And she's all in. She's actually at the same... She's actually at the same line as our current leader, Tiffany Perrotin, at the top part.
She is coming back in, aiming for in between the rocks. Interesting. Yeah, the takeoffs probably didn't look so good.
Well, that's something as a coach I would tell that that's like a no-go. If you approach a rocky area and you go around the rocks, then your line score obviously goes down. Really ambitious jump there. Unfortunately, having a controlled issue at the landing, putting the board sideways, but being back up really quickly. That was clean.
Another really nice hit at the bottom. Yay, Bryony.
One last air, trying to squeeze in another one, but deciding to go for a spray. And these are the last turns of the last rider of the day at this year's competition at the Zermatt-Spitze. Welcome to the finish, Bryony Johnson from Australia.
Yes, congrats, Bryony. Wow, very nice riding. This is it's cool. I feel like the snowboarders had more fun on this rider's right side of the face in the end. It looked easy.
I think so too, yeah.
And steezy.
Yeah, and
that was a nice little drop up the top.
But we still saw some of the snowboard girls ride in the Nara and doing super crazy entries on the other side as well. So let's not forget that.
Absolutely. It was. I mean, the right side was more playful. The steep terrain was absolutely Nara.
We will wait for the result now, and then we will have all the overviews of the results of all classes. And then we will show the highlights of the day, and before you will say goodbye.
Check. All right, last score of the last ride of the day. Is it enough to push Tiffany Perrotin, Sarah Bach and Michaela Holsten from the podium? Michaela sits on third place with a firm 61.67. That's what Bryony would need to be on the podium in today's competition. Well, it's a long way for a girl from Australia to Montafon and to the Zermatt-Spitze to a Freeride World Tour Challenger. Especially given the mountains in Australia, which are great for some freestyle moves, but for proper freeriding, maybe not the ideal training ground. Even more stoked that we have Bryony here with us.
Definitely. I mean, what a good reason to spend back-to-back winters.
Exactly.
And, well, that's interesting, actually, because when you think about it, some riders are able to just ski year round. Most of them on the qualifiers definitely need to work in the summer, so they put a lot of effort into getting all of their money in the summer months so that they're able to pursue their dreams in the winter and really just ski all the time. Because there's no secret. Like, to be good at skiing, snowboarding, you just got to do it every day.
You got to do it every day, and when you start to travel to the competitions, that's when you actually need quite a bit of money to travel, the entry fees, the travel cost itself, the food as you're traveling, everything is more expensive than when you're staying at one place. So there's a lot of riders that put a lot of weeks and months in to be able to actually afford a full competition season in the wintertime. 63 for Brian Johnson. She actually does kick Mary Holston of that place. She's stoked. So look at her. She can't believe it.
Not believe it at all. Oh,
How
this
is
very
that?
funny.
Oh. Super stoked about her third place from Australia, Brian Johnson. That means we have a podium and we have a competition that has gone really well. We have some amazing crashes, and luckily no one was hurt today on the Zermatt-Spitze, which really was a tough one today to ride. Holy moly!
It was, man. I'm really stoked for all the riders to have made it in one piece. I'm really sorry for the ones who didn't make it.
And the experience counts. That what we see Tiffany Parente, after 3 years on the World Tour, taking the win here at the Freeride World Tour Challenger by Barrage and Silvretta Montafon ahead of Sarah Bacher. So eventually, Sarah Bacher in second and Brian Johnson in third. It's 2 medals today that go to Austria and Australia and not to France and Switzerland, like all the other, I think, 12 or so.
Absolutely.
Right, one more time, the results. Today, ski man category. That was really quick by our backstage boys, but thanks for replaying them one more time. They are also visible for everyone here on Live Heats. Well, Lou Barin, the winning family, I'd say, of the day at the Barins, with Lou winning the ski girls and Cesar Barin winning the snowboard man. How is that? Congratulations to the Barin family. That's amazing.
Exactly. And yes, Cesar coming up here with the French trio on the snowboard man category. You can definitely see all of those results. They'll be published on the Freeride World Tour Challengers Instagram and very soon. All right.
It's already time for us to say goodbye. Thanks so much for watching. Most of all, thanks, Elise, for coming. Yeah,
thanks,
you will
Flo.
see Elise in the commentator booth for every single of the next 4 Challenger competitions, and we will be teaming up again for the Austrian ones in Kaprun, Obertauern, and I think that's it.
Absolutely.
Cool.
I can't wait to be back.
Cool. All right. Thanks for watching. Next competition with you as a commentator is in...
next weekend in Nanda.
In Nanda. So make sure to tune in. The exact dates are on the Freeride World Tour website. Thanks one more time. This was the Freeride World Tour Challenger by Barrage from Silvretta Montafon 2025. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. And we finish the day off with the highlights of the day.
Let's go.
Let's go.
That's okay.